one. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to AWOL Ultra Weekly Online. What are we? Weekly 6? Wednesday,
Yep.
weekly 6. I am your main host, Gus the Buzz. I'm here with my lovely bandana ninja guy, Blue.
Blue. Hello,
Blue
everyone.
Clues.
I won't do hello, even though it's my bit because Gus stole it.
Is it? I didn't know it was your bit.
But it's fine. We're
My
here for
bad.
some A.W.O.L Wednesday. Good time. Only a minute away from some pairings, but excited to see what we got going here.
Let's see. Yeah, showed up yet? Really? It's been maybe my computer's a little bit too ahead. I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. It was cozy as fuck. Yeah, you know what? I'm done streaming. I'm just chill on my hammock real quick.
You can cast from your hammock if you want, and if you can see
Oh,
that far.
Never mind. That did not work. That I'm okay. If you see me stream sometimes, I kind of hurt myself by accident. I don't know. All right. We got some tables. We got a total of 22 tables. You got any tables you like to pick?
Let's take a look what we got here. Um, You know what? I got to talk to Erlea a little bit recently about their representation on the Tasia for the French qualifiers. So let's look at table two.
Table 2. It is slowly getting ready. I did he just add a knocking sound?
A knocking sound?
Yeah, I just heard it. Okay.
All right.
Let's switch the gameplay here. They should be working. Oh, hold on. I just had it working just now. No. Sorry for technical difficulty, guys. That's my first time hosting this thing. So there we go. Should be all squared away. We got Orac from Arila,
Erlea.
and Shin Gao on Aesha.
What a matchup.
Who do you think is gonna win today? Which hero you think to take the top today?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty excited to see the memes that Erlea has going here with the Orac, but I'm also a big Akesha fan in general. So either way's a win for me at this point. More curious to see what type of decks both of them are going to pull out.
Hmm. They are both French players, which is pretty late for them since it's like what 2 a.m. for them.
Let's see, 1 a.m. I think.
I say these French players are very dedicated. I like to call them like sometimes little boss battles when I go against them in the middle of the night because I know they're sweating hard.
Yeah, man.
And the
Especially if
same
they're
94 got a buy. Nice, man. Listen, the W is a W. You gotta take as many W's as you can.
a fun little start off here, though, between Will-O'-the-Wisp and a Scribbling Starfish. Don't
Yeah,
usually like to play that Will-O'-the-Wisp from hand, I'd have to imagine, but pretty solid when you can just make everything water.
that's true. I mean, it's pretty strong at the very beginning, but does kind of show they don't really have much to get counters off Allrack early.
Insane. What are you playing today? Right.
Yeah.
Um, Starting right
Ooh,
away. Yeah, with
the
that.
Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, sabotage going well for him.
Nice Tooth Fairy. Nice Tooth Fairy. Gonna be a little bit
Sure.
slow start for these guys, but I know at towards the end it's gonna definitely ramp up to crazy shenanigans.
Yeah, for sure. Kesha
Ooh.
still does have the hero ability to mess with here,
Oh,
so
there it goes.
yeah,
Add a little after you.
yeah. So still some items they can work with here. Maybe even a spell for removal. Off you go, or something to that effect. We do have some more removal spells that
Ooh,
have been
Snowman.
popular with the new set. So
Yeah, that's true. You got any favorite removals from the first set that you still
from the
use?
first set or the new
Yeah,
set?
first set. First one.
First set.
Yeah.
Um, Well, it's weird he's using the scribbling starfish right
Yeah,
away
that's true. No,
for
no
not
boost on the starfish.
for not getting a draw. Either way, removals from the first set. Wow.
Yeah,
Defi definitely
I know usually
de
say third the new set, but it's
yeah,
still kinda cool.
definitely not sticky note seals. Um, mana eruption, rare mana eruption is probably
Mirror
better.
interruption, okay. I mean, that's a card's pretty solid, especially since, like, I think every set has been a little bit of mana ramp, right, for Bravos?
Yeah, I just like the idea, especially, early on, no one really expects the, uh the 2 cost rare removal that can hit anything sometimes.
That's true. I mean, there's so many rares nowadays, it's kinda hard to kinda not completely guess, but a little bit hard to guess, like, what rares are packing, what rares are not packing.
Oh, nice, playing a Trace with a Merlin unique. Well,
Ooh,
hopefully, we'll be able to check that out a little bit.
yeah, I wanna see this more unique. I haven't seen a lot of, uniques from the 3rd set. I've seen a couple, but not a crazy amount.
Yeah, should be good, but, we got a even setup here
Yeah, we
going
got,
on.
Sarengar from the reserve. Be able to draw next end of the day here. Ooh, Baku.
Interesting. I'm curious to see if, Baku is making a resurgence here based off of some stuff, maybe in Akesha decks, but either way, kinda weird. We do get a unique
Ooh,
Orbo's Trickster out here that
yeah.
is from anywhere. If you have 3 or more base statistics of 0, among character you use to control, draw a card. On 4 plus, gain 2 boosts. On 1 3, gain 1 boost.
Pretty solid unique. Is that for one cost? Definitely solid.
Yeah, not one that you would see often, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah.
Specifically has to be based around the idea of getting the, early just 1/1 cost, but, fun card nonetheless, and we do
Yeah.
have plenty of counters available as far as performance counters for
Yeah.
Orac at this point to see
Yeah.
what
We're
they
gonna see
can.
the first one coming up. But you mentioned Baku's earlier. I would say Baku's definitely been coming up more frequently from thanks to the set.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if also the I can never pronounce this dragon's name, like the Komakami.
yeah, Kurokami? Mhm.
Yeah. Also seeing that up as well with Baku in hand.
Hmm,
I'm
interesting.
not sure it's very strong contender in the current meta.
I played against Merlin Unique Trace on Saturday. Today. Yeah. Traced, I mean, you gotta blame Pumpote for making Trace a little too popular on ladder after that French qualifier. All you folks are just trying to make Trace too good now. I
Yeah,
mean,
Trace
Runefolk obviously knew Trace was always good regardless. He called it way early on stream, in fact. So,
like before set 3, or are you saying like release of set 3?
oh, before the French qualifier,
Way
when
before.
the when the Trace won the whole thing, but yeah. Um,
Seeing a lot of draw action from Akesha here.
yeah, is down 2 spots on the tumult here and is in
Yeah,
danger of losing 2 more. So even if
that
you get
is
a lot of
true.
resources, maybe a little bit too far behind at this point, but we'll have to see what they can pull out with the 2 mana that they have
I
left.
mean, simple off you go will help them for sure.
Yeah. Would put them overloaded a lot in the reserve
Oh,
there,
never
but they're
mind.
just gonna pass and take another 2-0. Okay.
I mean, there's no, it's not potential for hunger yet because they don't have enough mana.
That's fair, Rune. You gotta give the credit where credit's due. Like I said, we'll probably get to watch Insane here a little bit for this AWOL weekly and check out what we got a little bit of the Merlin Trace uniques going on here. But in the meantime, we do have a fun matchup here between Orac and Akesha. Didn't get quite enough counters to be able to do
Yeah,
2 hero abilities
Akesha
in
does
a
have
row.
a lot of resources, so I hopefully they're able to play something because they're super far behind.
Do we get the surprise Orac small step giant leap out of faction?
I would laugh so hard. Got Persephone in the hero expedition. See what I'm not sure what this Kesha can really do. I mean, there's still a lot of like removal they haven't even played. They haven't played any removal. They don't play 1/2 fairy.
Yeah, insane. But you've won plenty of games and even these online events without the best uniques. I'm sure it makes it easier, but at the end of the day, you still got to play well, right? But yeah, either way, like you're talking about on the active game here, looks like we could probably wrap it up here with the Orac. I guess
Yeah,
we'll
I
give
don't
him,
see anything possible for kids. I mean, they might have a crazy unique. Who knows?
yeah, 5 mana
Well,
left is a lot to work with,
it
but
is.
you do have to at this point, even if they got two O's in a row on this day and the following day, they still wouldn't win,
Yeah,
and they just have to hope
it
that
would
they
be
block the Orac in the
oh,
meantime. Okay.
okay, well, that could do it.
Good block for now, but, still a good amount of boost coming out here, and that should
Oh,
be enough to take them
here
over,
comes Daedalus right here, that's it.
you know? So,
Yeah,
probably just didn't find what they needed to in order to get to the point of getting enough stall going on with this Akesha potentially,
yeah.
and
Nice
Orac
to
was able
see
to
a unique is a talk that costs 5, but man,
yeah, Orac
it'll
just able to overwhelm as Orac does. Orac, as we all know, is a very aggro build, right? I mean, just, like,
yeah.
constantly just destroying everybody with its hero ability that it activated only once this
Yeah,
game.
it's if you don't if the Kesha didn't play any removal essentially, and it was just hard for them to do anything after that. Alright, let's see. What table should we go to? We wanna go to table 7?
Sure, that's fine. That one went a lot quicker than expected,
Yeah.
so
Usually the first rounds are kinda, like, a lot longer.
ooh, Maddox faction. Come on, Maddox. Not even playing.
I can't go on that table. Badly blocked by a player.
You're blocked?
I can't do it.
Oh my god.
I know.
Quick and clean, huh, Arlea? It's that aggro Orac that you have going
Let's
on, right?
do table 13.
Table 13. Alright, well, that was a first for me of having somebody not being able to join because 'cause they're blocked, but guess that's
Hey,
what happens
that thing
sometimes.
happened to call a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's true, I forgot about that.
It's funny 'cause I called him toxic for
Speaking of Trace, though, we do get to see a
Ooh,
Trace
that's
here
true, that's true.
going up against a Sierra. I haven't seen very many Sierras, or at least a new list for Sierras these
I've
days.
seen plenty, but
Oh, yeah?
I don't know, I don't think I've seen enough in, like, the high, like, competitive gameplay.
I gotcha. Yeah, I
This is
was
my low level 100 stuff.
yeah. I've seen mostly the Trace nowadays, especially after the French qualifier, so I'd be curious to see how the top end Sierra decks could have changed. I think the previous ones were highly reliant on Nilum. I can't imagine you'd wanna get rid of Nilum, but maybe there's some new types of gameplays that I haven't even taken a look at yet that are quite good. The Grims themselves are a card that seem to be pretty
Yeah.
popular, so maybe there's something centering around that, and maybe even the Templar as well, who can create a brass bug when it leaves rather than just an Orders Recruit.
Oh, that's what it does. Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. I didn't realize the out of faction one creates a brass bug token. Interesting.
Yeah. Nothing to see there, Maddox? Okay, well, maybe we won't be able to see it all. I just realized that if a player truly didn't wanna get casted on AWOL, they could just block all of the AWOL
That's
commentators.
that is a fallacy that you, pointed out that people probably should not do.
You're in the middle of a Of course you are. Just play twice at once. You wanna, put up a game of chess as well for Leia? Just to make it at least decently hard for you? But yeah, so we do have where are we at this point?
Sierra's
Sierra,
doing pretty good so far.
yeah, slightly ahead at this point, and only 2 counters for the Traced.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if they're able to make up after they get
A
the
little bit
counters that
advantage
they
on
need.
resources here too. We got Tech Lab unit coming into play now. Oh, we got the Brass Bug Hive. Got
Yeah,
resupplied.
resupply it in. Could get hit with the sabotage before you get to play in for the following day, but we'll have to
Yeah,
see.
but it's gonna be hard to sabotage. I think what most trades just only does Tinkerbell, right?
Yeah, that's true, it's true. Could get a Tinkerbell down now though, and would have first turn on the
Oh,
following
we
day.
got a unique Anansi here.
Unique Anansi. I gain 1 boost for each card in each player's reserve. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 1 boost for each card in your reserve. So these Anansis have become fairly popular at this point after the French qualifier, I'd have to imagine. One of those things where after someone does well with a specific type of unique, the prices on the marketplace jump about 40 to $50 no
Wow.
matter what type of thing it is. I don't know if that actually happened, but I just assume it did, just like
You assume you
way
did.
back in the day with the jellyfishes and whatever else kinda thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair, fair. Man, you are 1% right though. These Nazi has been popping up everywhere. Every time I see trades, I gotta assume at least one or two Nazis unique. Whether they're good or bad, it doesn't really matter as long as they do all the same thing and just boost.
Yeah, well, plenty of mana still left here for the Trace. They could put out 2 cards and get up to 4 counters and be able to hit the 5 counters that they need on the following day, potentially, and put them in a fairly good spot. We'll have to see how the Sierra is able to respond
Yeah.
here.
See,
Still cards that they can play, but I don't know if any in particular that will help them out, as they'd have to deal with the Keylon Elemental that
and the
has
Exum Salvager.
yeah, so we'll see how it goes. And oh, that's your secret, Maddox? You just blocked all of us so that way you can't get, caster cursed? Okay,
I think it's just me. I
okay.
must have made Maddox mad. I'm sorry, Maddox.
I'm just waiting for Revertant Waru to come back. That was the player that I could truly, enjoy watching at all points throughout any season realistically, so I'm waiting for that legend to return at some point.
Oh, dude, please tell me the story of this legendary man. I don't know anything about this guy.
I mean, it's just in the name. If you don't like Revert Waru, then I don't know what to tell you.
I
Um,
decided to play the Aegis Templar.
Interesting there. They obviously can get blocked fairly easily here.
Yeah, I'm assuming they just gonna just take the L on this turn, just put the brass bug for next day.
Yeah, they will, looks like get 2-0'd here, so they'll lose the lead that they had built up, and it feels like the Trace will be in a fairly good spot. The question is are they gonna go ahead and throw the Salvager out for funsies to get a counter, or are they just gonna save it for following day? Probably save it for the following day just to have a nice 1 mana start.
That's true.
Slow play, but we'll see. Still waiting on Sierra to pass here, unless they have something they want to do, which they don't. And Trace will
Oh,
throw the Salvager out
yeah.
just to get the counter and see what they got. And why not?
Oh,
Another elemental.
probably would have thrown it through the mana, honestly. Ooh, this era had an advantage, and now it's just slowly going away. I mean, they still have more resource advantage. They still have a brass bug hive to play, even though I'm not sure they want to play it this turn or not.
And the question is, do they think they have enough in hand at this point after playing the Brassbug Hive to potentially take a 1 for 1 and then try to make up for it on the following days? I don't know what they have. Traced is low on resources, but they will have their counters here pretty soon, so they will be drawing. We'll have to see if that matters at this point in the game. Definitely will help out. So, first play to Trace and
Oh,
the Haven Bravo Bastion is a good place to start, especially into more resupply.
but the thing is, the Sierra has Grams on the table here, so it will be very easy to remove it.
Definitely could, but we'll have to see if they go with that line or if they're just going to try to do a little bit of setup with that Brassbook Hive.
Oh, they decided the setup.
So Hive will go on board. Now they can definitely split to kind of force the Trace to play more cards, or they can just try to guarantee one side entirely by throwing the bugs all on one side and prevent the Trace to try to double advance. They are going to have to deal with that unique Anansi that will be able to put at least some decent amount of stats on the board with its anywhere ability, depending on how many cards end up in the reserve. But it
Oh,
looks like
it's
they
like
are gonna do a little bit of a split here, so
yeah.
Interesting setup.
I think they feel confident enough to be able to get at least one lane from here.
Mhm.
Oh, now never mind. Now I see why mechanical training coming into play.
Always a good
Opening up,
card when it comes to
yeah,
Sierra, especially with all the permanent activations that you can usually pull out, whether it's the Hive, whether it's a Nilum, or even in this case, the Tech Lab unit being able to resupply if they so choose. I've always been a big fan of the Ouroboros. They got pretty popular in Axiom decks. It'll be fun to see if they're able to try to use the Tech Lab unit in a similar way without having to use a rare slot. But obviously not quite the same because you're not milling as many cards. But we'll have to
true.
see if it's quite as good or quite not. Either
This I got
way,
to play the Anansi first.
yeah, probably going to try to save for it if they can get enough to advance with just what they have, which technically they should be able to
Yeah,
with
with
just
the
the one
augment.
cost.
Yeah,
So, we'll have to see if that's going to matter. Either way, it looks like we may be in the situation of having a 2 for 1 at this point.
yeah. Well, now we're just back being tied up here. Has the Sierra player played any unique so far? Nope. That there's only two cards in their discard, and they're both the Aegis Templar.
Oh, it's a sleeping podcast for Rune Folk. Rune Folk, do you want me to play some, like, different type of noises for you, like green
The
noises,
sleeping podcast.
anything? I can keep on talking to the mic like
We need to
this.
do like a ASMR, like, "Hey, how's it going,
Yeah,
Runefo?
there you
Welcome
go.
to the AWOL podcast,
Yeah, hold
weekly
on,
six."
let me do some crinkling.
Oh yes. I think he fell
Alright.
asleep.
Alright, we'll have to see if this
Ooh,
is
double
end up
brass bug hive.
yeah, this does end up being a too much for the Trace to be able to handle with a double Brass Bug Hive, like you mentioned. They did end up tying things up at that previous day with a 2 for 1 advance,
Yeah,
and now the Trace will have to deal with all of that
they're really
and
coming in
limited
here.
resources.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
coming in here to say, "I'm gonna finish this game. I'm gonna finish this game now." Oh, it sucks that to see the double Bravos bashing here, so the Grand Mule can only take out one of them. Or maybe decides to use the second ability to sack like lab unit just for another brass bug.
Got the dichotomy in the chat. Maddox's ears been bleeding, and now Runefolk says it helps a lot.
We
So
can't please everybody. We can't.
we know which of you are wearing headphones and which of you aren't at this point. So Grims does come out here, gonna take out one of those havens to prevent some more boosts. I'd have to imagine,
Yeah,
or they could also produce the another brass bug if they're planning on going more stats here by just getting rid of the tech lab unit essentially, and it looks like they're
decided.
gonna opt for the Haven. Ooh,
Oh,
another unique. You wanna read that one off?
yeah. Give me a second. Mana Druid for 4/3 for 1/1. From anywhere, I gain one boost from each card in player's reserve. From hand, if you may pay one. If you do, you may return a card from reserve to your hand, and then the support abilities. You can anchor a card with the hand cost 3 or less. Other than me, which is kind of weird to say, other than me, because it gets discarded.
Mhm.
But
So it is enough stats to go over on that side, and they'll have 3 mana left here to potentially try it if they wanted to try to go on the companion side, but I don't think they have enough stats without that other Haven. If
yeah,
only that Muna Druid was a 2 cost from reserve, they'd be able to play the Anansi, the Muna Druid, and the Dr. Frankenstein, but alas, it was 3 mana and was not able to do all that good stuff. But we are still even on the tumult, but we are in a situation of the Trace having to deal with a double hive setup, which is going to be a problem now, and it's going to be a problem if they head to an arena tiebreaker.
yeah. There's also resources here from the Sierra versus Triss, which is kind of Not very favorable for Triss at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Trace is still having the ability to activate the Dr. Frankenstein to be able to resupply if they so
That's true.
choose.
That's
They
true.
have the trace ability, so they have options to catch up resources wise. But the problem is that the board control state is definitely going to be on the side of the Sierra after the at noons come into play, and we also see that mechanical training just waiting for another brass bug to show up. So essentially, they have, I mean, at that point, what, 12, 12, 12 worth of characters on the board for
Yeah.
just 2 mana? And that would be a difficult situation for anyone to catch up to with only 8 mana to on the other side of things.
I wonder if the Sierra here gonna go for split lanes or gonna go for just one lane. Oh, maybe just go for one lane. Try to guarantee the tiebreaker. Probably a better idea for them.
You could also trying to be forcing the Trace player to want to play on the other side to potentially counter it with some cards, but we could be looking at cards like Hooked or maybe even the rare chance of a out of faction Blizzard showing up. I doubt it, but could be fun to see. You never know what people are
Yeah.
gonna pop up with
I
here
love
in the
Blizzard.
AWOL.
I love Blizzard. That's how yeah, last week when I was playing AWOL, I think out of my 6 games, I played Blizzard 5 times in my Aphonis deck.
Mhm.
Blizzard is an amazing card.
So starting off strong here with that Anansi play, getting 3 boosts off of the 3 cards in reserve. Still a lot of resupply potential here for the Trace. Question is how will the Sierra decide to counter this? I have to imagine they're gonna wanna try to win it all right here, unless they're just planning on forcing the Trace to use as many resources as
Yeah.
possible to win in the tiebreaker. But if they can, especially with such a big lead on that hero side, I'd have to imagine they're gonna wanna
Oh,
try to take it all now.
never mind. We got the, bug out bag. So maybe they are gonna try to get both sides here. Maybe they have potential removal in their hand to help, put them out.
Yeah, so it does end up being one of those situations where Sierra was trying to get their opponent to play on one side to hopefully trick them into something. I feel like Trace had to know it was coming either way. Now the question becomes, can they put enough stats on the board to catch up to either expedition realistically and try to force a tiebreaker? It's not looking super likely, but I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah.
I don't think they've given up completely yet. I haven't seen the GGs in the chat, but it's not looking too hot for them at the moment.
You also gotta look at time here too. The Sierra player has taken a significant amount of time compared to the Triss player for sure. There's a 8-minute gap right there.
Yeah, we should still have enough to finish the game, but BJ has definitely surprised me before and just randomly ended games. So
That
we'll
is
have to see
true.
if that ends up happening here. A lot of low cost stuff for the Trace to see everything that the Sierra is going to play first before
Oh, another
deciding on
mechanical
things.
training. No.
This is an
Yeah.
army of bugs coming out here at this point. Still could play another mechanical training. I believe they probably have a third one that they could still potentially play with 3 mana.
That'd
Uh,
be very funny if they had another one in their hand.
yeah, yeah, but we'll have to see if that's actually the scenario. At the very least, there's still four more stats that the Trace will have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this person's gonna come back from this. This is very difficult situation for them.
They are just gonna go with the Dr. Frankenstein to put as many stats on the board as they possibly can, as well as resupplying, trying to find something, digging deep to see if they can make the comeback here. And with just 2 mana left,
Yeah, it's 2
it's,
mana left. Yeah, it's gonna
looking like a GG.
yeah. I do wanna see another mechanical training from their hand.
Oh,
Oh,
it
we
is the
got
hook.
hooked. Yeah,
Yeah, it is the hook that I was talking about earlier,
the
trying to bait your
infamous
opponent to
hook.
play on one side and forcing them to split up their stats, and when it comes to a scenario of being adjacent, that is not gonna help when you're trying to play for a tie, or at least to going to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, Sierra definitely got it this game.
2 mana left here for the Trace. Still thinking to see if they have any outs. They do have at least 2 other plays that they can make. I don't think either of them are going to help, but they do go ahead and just throw
Mm.
out their own rare hooked in this scenario,
Ah,
hoping that that'll do something even though they're still behind on that side. Still 2 mana left that can be played, whether it's a mechanical training or another hooked for the Sierra. We're looking at wrapping things up right here, right now, and it has to be pretty
yeah,
close to the end of the first round of the
it
Swiss.
has to be. It has to be. Everyone's joining into the lobby. Everyone's looking. This might be like the final table for the first round.
I believe everything's on as far as kick. It's happened. It happened on Monday, AWOL as well, but I have to verify. EJ Payne. Waiting on Sierra to pass. Shouldn't be any reason why they shouldn't be passing immediately here. Uh,
I mean, it is
just
also 1 a.m. on their phones, so there's also a
well,
possibility there. I mean, nodding off a little bit.
definitely could be the scenario. Plus, playing on your phone absolutely sucks on BJ. So
But that
I've
was
had
GG for the Sierra right there.
and unfortunately we do have the scenario with the check victory set up that you have to clear out your reserve these days. It just
You
doesn't
know,
end the game.
that's not in the game. There's so many
But
times
we
I left early and I got a big no for that one.
but we'll head on back here for the AWOL Season 3 Wednesday Weekly number 6, and we are in round 2 of the Swiss already.
All righty, that's good. Time is flying by. We're having fun.
And you know what? Since Insane was talking about their own Traced and Merlin on
All
table
right,
1,
table
we
one.
may as well take a look.
Look at that in the same. You won first game easy, and now you're all the way up to table one.
You know, DJ Payne, and that would have been your right. Some people don't want to, though. Can't blame them entirely.
Oh man, the boy ain't loading for me.
Yeah, they're probably checking some
Yeah.
mana or stuff. Either way, we can keep on pressing refresh until something pops up. It does look like we do have a Lindaway versus a Trace matchup potentially.
Oh, spicy. I haven't seen that many Lindaways lately. They're just a little bit scattered about here and there.
Yeah, I think it's still a solid hero. It's just really hasn't been a force in the meta these days. I feel like it's definitely one of the heroes that takes a little bit more brain power than the standard just play cards and try to beat your opponent kind of thing.
I was gonna say the standard Bravos player, but I'm not trying to throw shade at Bravos players.
Oh, so Bravos is the bane of your existence then?
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes.
But we'll go ahead and wait for this one out. And should be a fun matchup to take a look at. Once again, I want to thank everyone that has joined us in the chat and in this tournament. Feel free to recommend to your friends to join the Wednesday AWOL. Could always use this one to fill up like we do the Mondays. But if not, we can all just enjoy a nice little evening in here in North America and a very early morning over in Europe if you're deciding to play.
2 iron chains. You could have that means you would have kicked me out last week when I played against you. Wow, unbelievable. You think you know the guy. Alright, got the game up, got the
We
game
do
ready.
have the game up. Why Nothing versus Insane 94. Insane, feel free to say hi to the stream. You're on. Just say hi to everybody while you're in the game. But if you're listening still, but we do start off with the strong Baba Zizba
Yeah,
play here for the Lindaway.
that's a good strong start for Lindaway.
Could be looking at a variety of one cost cards to be playing with that, but we'll only see the
Oh,
two costs in the Grims coming out here for the trace that could immediately take care of that Baba Zizba.
I wonder this is might be the reason why Lindaway has been shortened down a little bit because cards like the Grams have been disaster for the Baba Isba.
I feel a lot of permanent base decks have been coming down a little bit just because there's a lot of cards that got added that deal with lower cost permanents that previous heroes didn't really have access to. You don't have to play things like sticky note seals to potentially hit big permanents. on a Sigismar or any Ortus setup, you can just have the license withdrawal. You see the Grims on the Axiom side of things. You just see a lot of availability to take out some permanents these days, as well as just characters as a whole. So
It's true.
a lot of good removal available, and Grims is going to go ahead and take out that Baba Zizzler right
Probably why we
away.
don't see a lot of Lyra Festival plays nowadays.
That could be a thing too as well. I feel like the top end festival decks can still kind of make their way around it if they want to, but honestly, I haven't really seen one played a whole lot. I believe there was a Festival deck at the French qualifier. If anyone that went there or knows about it can verify, but I thought I heard them talking about that on the French stream at one point, but I could be
Oh,
wrong.
that would've been cool to see. I like Lyra Festival. It just, kinda sucks that it kinda just shot underneath the rug a little bit. Still playable, it's just a lot harder now.
Why do you hate Grimm's, Rune? It's almost like you play things that are based around,
2
stalling and you, don't like people that can interact with that.
Yeah, it sounds like he plays permanent that are 2 or less in this deck.
What's the latest project, Rune, that we can expect from you when you decide to play next? You get a lot of solid resupplies coming in here for
Yeah,
the Trace. They have that Haven Bravos Bastion. They also have the Frozen Delivery that's also a good setup to get some more counters and get some cards to play from reserve,
yeah,
and is currently taking the lead in the Tumult while getting rid of the Isba. But the, Lindaway's not in a horrible spot with the amount of cards that they do have in hand.
yeah, this first player Insane is doing a lot better in terms of, reaching their counters compared to the last Triss player we saw from last game. They're able to getting hit by the 2 fairy. Probably the brash bash gotta go. Gotta
Yeah.
go.
Still gets a counter for it,
Yeah,
as is the beauty of Sabotage during the afternoon because it is leaving
yeah, and
the,
then we got a Founding Mechanic right there. Perfect card for them.
we'll have plenty of cards to be able to play here to get that 5th counter, unless they get Sabotage, which they'll still get the 5th counter anyway, but we'll have to see that is how it turns out. They could just use the mechanic to play a permanent if they have one in their deck, which I have to imagine they have at least one.
We got a set up sacrifice coming up for Lindaway most likely.
Yeah, the question is how they plan to do that. They do have 2 mana left, so we could be looking at anything from a Gift of Self, or maybe even throwing out another Baba's Isba if they did happen to draw into one, which I'm sure they would appreciate. We'll have to see how they're able to respond here as they do exhaust for the Maw. We do see that sacrifice that you called. It would be enough to help them advance on that side, and it will be that gift of self that I had mentioned, and getting a lot of draw here
Yeah,
for that while boosting up their Maw.
Trissa has 5 counters now, so let's see what you're gonna play here next.
Could hit a variety of things, especially with 3 mana. I'd have to imagine they could hit most things in their deck or can play most things in their deck for that mana curve, but looks like they have a bit of a decision on their minds as far as what they want to throw down there and potentially try to contest the Lindaway at this point. They should be able to take the hero side fairly
Oh,
easily if they so
interesting.
choose. And we will see another Grim
Grims,
setup.
yeah, rare Grims this time.
Media pass from the Lindaway. Unless there's something else that the Trace wants to do here, I imagine they're probably going to save what they have with the Sap Sniffer. And yeah, the Sap Sniffer will stay around. Still a one spot advantage on the Tumult for the Trace. They're officially activated as far as counters. Now the question becomes, can Lindaway try to utilize what they have as far as hand advantage to potentially take this game and catch up while dealing with the Trace hero ability? Who would you rather be in this scenario,
Mm.
Lindaway or the Trace?
See, Lindaway lost one of their Baba Isbas already, so now you gotta start digging through more, but problem is if they dig through more, they have the problem of Grams, which is also very annoying if I was Lindaway. It's like, "Okay, I can't play Baba Isba because Grams can just knock it out." Now, for Triss, the other hand here, Lindaway has a lot of resources, a lot of draw power compared to their measly grab a card and throw one to the reserve. So I'm not sure who I would prefer, but looks like Insane lost his Grams, so maybe the Baba Isba can be now be in play. Nothing to worry
Definitely
about
could
it.
be an option. That is the second of the Grims. They could have a third one. Um, and not a bad idea by the Lindaway, who had to use that second sabotage there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
And
early hooked.
yeah, early hooked at this point, I'd have to imagine is a lot for the draw potential, seeing what they can play with, catching up a little bit on resources to the Lindaway. Has a spot on the tumult to mess with and give up if they so choose to try to set themselves up a little on later in the game. Feel like if they can equalize with resources in hand and in reserve, they would have to be feeling pretty good, especially with that trace ability. So we'll see what the Lindaway can do in response as we just get some slow play from the traced.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm curious to see what uniques the Lindaway player has.
Yeah, that is always the fun part when it comes to these games where we can see when a player throws out a unique. We have some general idea what it seems like what could be in decks these days, but you can never completely guess what someone can throw in there as far as unique. And
Curious if it's the same would you throw another hog just for a draw.
we'll have to see what turns up with that. Um, Only one mana left though for the Lindaway, two for the Traced. This point, though, the Lindaway can advance on the hero side. Question is, will the Trace try to contest it? Will they just go ahead and throw out another hook to draw a card? Who knows? I don't. We're about to find out in a minute.
Remember to play their unique Merlin with Scout 2, even though that doesn't exist.
And we'll go with the Vike. They're going to opt to
Ooh,
see if they can advance on the companion side at this point and see if the Lindaway has any response for it. And it does
nope.
look like it that they do not. So another one for one.
1 for 1.
I've seen the use of Vike a lot nowadays. I feel like it's a solid card, especially since it does allow you to play exhausted cards from your reserve. And when there are a decent amount of yeah, a decent amount of cards that are in the meta that do exhaust things, we haven't seen a lot of focus on using cards that allow you to play exhausted cards. And if you do have that, it kind of counteracts a lot of things, whether it be a Nilum play, an Occlute play, Jack Frost, and anything to that effect.
Yeah. I kind of find it a little bit niche a little bit, but I mean, what do I know? I'm not an Axiom player. So I don't really play Axiom that much to use Vikey.
Yeah, we'll have to see what comes of it. Both players bantering, playing into nice no unique setup here because we haven't seen any uniques from either player. I imagine they do have uniques in their decks. We just haven't seen them
Hey,
played yet.
maybe not. Maybe this is a nice, clean, fun game. Even though saying did tell us they have a unique Merlin and they want to show.
Right. First person to play a unique loses. You got to forfeit. So we'll see how this keeps on going here. We do have the play onto the
Yeah,
Lindaway, who's going to
Moss
throw
coming
out,
out.
yeah, the Maw. Have to imagine we'll be seeing a sacrifice post haste.
Yep.
And
Ooh,
there
a
is
Moss
the
Lantern.
Moth Lantern. Always a staple in Lindaway, but we have seen some people try to go
Oh,
away from it.
the last Grem to knock out the Moth Lantern. Hate to see it, but at least Lindaway knows that that's her last Grem, so don't need to stress about it anymore.
Yeah, getting rid of all those different types of permanents are the Grims. It's like this matchup was made for Trace, just taking out everything as far as setup that the Lindaway could possibly have. but they're throwing out another Moonlight Jellyfish, which makes me think we're probably going to see another sacrifice regardless. Either way, we'll get a Keylon cylinder set up
Yeah.
in the rare version, so it will have the ability to play a boost on play and have the effect of spending one of its Keylon counters to target for target character to gain a boost with exhausting. So we'll have to see how they're able to utilize it. I do and am a big fan of that permanent. Happy that we are getting to see it used more and more since the beginning of the last set.
Yeah. I Keylon cylinder is different from the Bravos version, right? I think the Bravos
Yeah,
version, it doesn't have the anywhere ability, right?
right. It doesn't have the on play at all. No.
Yeah. But we got mobile armory. I almost said mobile defense. Wrong thing to say.
Yeah, it doesn't have the on play, and then its exhaust. It lets you have the next character you play gain the boost opposed to target character. So
Right.
a little bit more flexibility on the Axiom side, which is the case when it comes to out of faction cards on occasion.
And we
But we
got
will
the
see,
hooked right there.
yeah, we will get the hook to be able to draw, move that moth over to the companion side, and it looks like we'll be potentially at another one for one, unless the Lindaway has another response for 2 mana, which they definitely could.
Yeah, simple. No, never mind. I would say maybe simple off you go, but it will still would not be enough stats. Interesting that they played the Moonlight Jellyfish, but there was no sacrifice for it. I guess they were just going for stats at that point, huh?
Yeah, potentially trying to set things up. Maybe they had another line in their head that kind of got messed up with the hooked play. Either way, we do still have a one spot advantage here on the tumult for the traced is 1-2-0 away from taking this, and they do have 4 cards in hand, as will the
Perfect
Lindaway if they
amount of
both decide to
resources.
mana and dead even at this point. So you have to give the advantage to the traced, especially with the
Yeah.
Keylon cylinder out.
Oh, I had not seen Refinery being played as much, but I always thought it was an interesting card to put for Priest, Trust.
Yeah, definitely is where it belongs as far as Trace is concerned, potentially. But we'll have to see if they're able to utilize it here later in the game, or if they're just kind of waiting to be this to be kind of an after you. In the meantime, we will see the 1 mana being paid for the Maw. Again, makes me think that there is a potential sacrifice play in the works here for the Lindaway, maybe even sacrificing the Maw to try to draw some more cards with a Gift of Self. But we'll have to wait to see what they have as they're maybe kind of sort of trying to dig through their deck.
Do any Lindaways still play Boom? Do you know?
Oh, I'm sure that they do to have some
Oh,
removal.
never
Yeah,
mind. I
yeah,
spoke too soon.
yeah, yeah. Boom does come into play here. We'll sacrifice to get rid of the refinery. Interesting play. Refinery U isn't doing anything actively at the moment, but looks like the Lindaway just does not want to deal with it here, as we
I
see.
wonder they were gonna use Boom the last day
Mm,
where they got hooked.
definitely could have. It's interesting. See what's going to go on here as we do see a common Corgan informant, a
Yeah,
card that I haven't really seen since the demo deck tournament, but is a good setup to remove
yeah,
counters there from the Keylon cylinder.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Does have a lot of utility, whether it be boosts or counters in the game. It does have the specific caveat the card has to be in play or in reserve.
Yeah.
So you can't target the trace counters, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
But
think it's over for the Lindaway. Yeah. It was too much removal from Insane.
mm,
Stopping the Lindaway.
so Insane tried to bait us with a Merlin unique in the chat earlier on, but obviously was just playing a no unique deck
Yeah.
the entire time and
I can't believe this guy.
just
I
wanted
thought I trusted him, man, but I guess
just wanted to be on stream, obviously.
not. I got scammed. I was so excited.
But a solid game nonetheless, an interesting matchup to take a look at, not one that we've gotten to see
I
very much.
do like to see let's use heroes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When you go to table 7.
Let's see. Sure, we can take a look at table 7. Why not? Table 7, let's jump
Oh,
in to see what we got.
I
A
chose a table, right?
Aphonis mirror
Double
matchup.
honest, yeah.
So we do have a unique out already with double Nilums out for the bottom of Faunus. When I go to the reserve from the expedition zone, sabotage. From anywhere, you may return a spell from your reserve to your hand, and when I leave the expedition zone, if I have two or more boosts, draw a card.
That's a lefty two fairy right there, I'll tell you that much.
A lot of text on that card that they probably had when they put that together or when they pulled it at some point, or they bought it. I don't know. Either way, it looks like it has a lot of text on it in person. And, I'm not gonna look at your deck list and saying I'm gonna assume that you were lying the entire time, and so
I think it's interesting to
what
see we got 2 different I think there might be 2 different versions on Fondness, one Needlum, one without Needlum. I'm
yeah,
assuming. I don't see any Needlum, the, this card, but doesn't mean they don't have it, right? But I'm a
definitely could. The Nilum has been a popular card for the Aphonis these days as far as the meta. Initially not in there very much during the set 2 meta, but as we go into here for the next set, has been a lot more popular as far as getting things sorted. And we do see a Rhyme Frost which can trigger both trees and get a double moth moth.
It's true. I'm on the fence on Needlum because, like, I like it, I don't like it, I don't know. I don't run Needlum Fondness, I run more a cleaner 27 spell deck Fondness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a quite a good card, but we will see the slow play here from the top of Faunus. They'll have to deal with the large amount of sets that we see for the bottom of Faunus over here on the companion side, who only needs one more singular advance to take this game and
Oh, the Mouth of the Flame will definitely seal the deal right there.
will definitely help them out. The only other thing that the top of Faunus could possibly have for interaction is Beauty Sleep, and I don't believe they'll have enough stats to block there for
Ryan
it.
Frost is down, not enough.
And Ryan Frost does come out, like you mentioned, and it looks like we'll have a victory for the bottom Aphonis of TDZ, Zarp, and H. Good old fashioned Aphonis mirror matchup. I'm sure no one dislikes watching those
Anyway, yeah.
more than even an Aphonis versus a Sigismar matchup in season
Oh,
2.
don't remind me.
But that'll wrap that one up. We'll take a look to see what we have left here. We may be wrapping up the Swiss round 2 or not. Could still be a game or 2 left to be played. It looks like we had a few when we initially left, so we'll scroll back here and see if we can find
Yeah,
anything
you
else to watch.
wanna pick a table here? We've got, like, a couple left that are, like, kinda close to being done.
Sure, sure, sure. Let me scroll back here, see what we got. We have one, two, three, four, five, 6 games. They're all pretty much the same. Let's just scroll all the way to the bottom and hit up table 17.
Mm. Alrighty, we got, Sierra versus Faunus here.
And Sierra
Like,
is
oh,
currently in the lead.
yeah, that's a dominating Sierra. I wonder what happened this game.
Looks like they had a pretty decent setup with the Ouroboros, been able to get the permanents that they need, whether it be the gears on the Kelonic heater or the bug out bag, all of which are enough normally to activate Sierra if it's they're in rares, but he's interestingly using the Kelonic heaters and the commons to be able to use the anywhere ability, I'd have to imagine, but we'll see
Yeah,
if
the
that is
Sierra
the case.
player has a unique accent. When you play a permanent, you may discard a card from reserve, you do a resupply. And play from reserve. You control 2 or more landmarks, create a brass bug token in target expedition. Simple. It's a 3 cost, but simple. It's not like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
Does well with the Lyra Bastion for sure.
They could look to activate the support ability of the Gibble, at this point if they so choose, or they could just play that unique salvager like you mentioned. Either way, I think they want to try to end this as soon as possible, but they will have to be contested by that Kadgir and Mage Dancer and all the removal that the Aphonis has in the reserve.
Yeah.
We could be looking in a scenario that if the Sierra doesn't find the answer soon, that we can have an Aphonis who has a lot of resources be able to make a comeback with just two 2-0 advances on this day and the next.
Interesting that they played the Salvager. I mean, because they don't really have much places to play it.
Yeah. I
I'm
think they
not sure.
were
I'm not sure why they played that. That was
uh,
just
think they were kinda resigned to potentially just give it up, um, interesting in that scenario. I do see an Off You Go played just for the fun of it. Um,
I'm confused that these cards being played, but it's all right.
well, I believe he played the spell there so that we can get enough boosts on Pedicure and Mage
Yeah,
Dancer
that's true. Yeah, to get that draw, you're right.
to get the draw, but, as far as the Salvager, could just be to try to make room or to throw something out there just to make the Aphonis play cards. Either way, we do get the 2-0 here for the Aphonis, and they are putting themselves in a really good spot with all the cards that they have in hand,
They have a very
despite
strong advantage at the moment.
yeah, despite the Sierra getting the early lead in this game. So let's see who can take this one at the end of the day.
I love
Sierra
that
is
there's
going
a
into negative time.
alter community. Yep. The font is pretty sure Filipino, right? The Philippine flag. Yep. So and they're doing pretty well. They're gonna. I believe they'll win this match. I have a good faith that they will.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's able to come out of the qualifiers for that specific area and take some victories. They didn't really get into specifics as far as like the specific qualifiers for those regions. I think they said there's going to be a variety of different tournaments going on
Yeah, but have
um,
they announced anything yet?
through the qualifier. Yeah, no, they've announced all the
Yeah,
qualifiers.
no, no, but for just for like the Asia, like
I don't think they've I mean, maybe there's been some stuff, internally on their side. Again, like I said, they didn't say that specifically on the original announcement, but I know they've been actively doing stuff to build up the qualifiers there. I just don't know if it's going to be one individual qualifier or if there's just gonna be a bunch of random tournaments to decide who gets through. Either way, we do have some cards being played here. Another Ouroboros. We do see a
oh,
unique Foundry armor
yeah, but
that
sadly, they don't have enough mana to play it.
yeah, that's gonna go away right away, but it does have an anywhere ability of creating a brass bug and target expedition, and it will also, when you play a permanent, you may sacrifice a permanent if you do resupply. Interesting, unique.
Interesting, but sadly, just not enough mana to play it. I think that Aphonis definitely has this game. They still can play Beauty Sleep. Um, got rid of the mana druid. You don't really see Spycraft often in Aphonis at all. Usually just two fairy, and that's about it.
Yep. A
Look at
few
this.
different off meta cards here with that spycraft, but at the moment, plenty of mana left here for the Faunus at 3. Could throw out another beauty sleep potentially. And try to take a 2-0 here, depending on what the Sierra decides to throw out. They could throw both cards here, and they're just going to cost reduce.
Yeah,
So
it's
just to set things up here
yeah,
for another resupply and dig a little bit more, but they're not going to find anything at this
that's
point
over.
that's going to help them.
Yeah, Aphonis definitely got this game right here. It was crazy that we saw the come in. Sierra is was like just so close, but they
Yeah.
were lacking resources at the end. While Aphonis was building up slowly but surely to get victory here.
Do you like the idea behind the Sierra deck and that unique salvager being able to play a permanent and resupplying? Think if they had one where you just didn't have to pay the extra mana, it would be even cooler. It reminds me a lot of the Sigismar decks that have the uniques when a character is played, you can resupply. So would be a cool idea here in Sierra, but
They did have an Axiom Salvage that did that.
yeah, so it just quite not quite enough here, despite getting the early lead. Faunus does Aphonis things and is just able to get enough resources to close out the game here with 2 2-0s in a row.
Yep. Now you just gotta just close out the game here.
We'll get everything resolved here, but the Aphonis does get that 2-0. We'll knock things out. I imagine we're pretty close to the end of the Swiss round two. So I want to thank everyone that has stayed on here to watch the stream here for the AWOL Wednesday weekly number 6. Feel free once again to join this yourself if you're not already watching and playing at the same time for future events.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to us, you know?
Yeah, all that
Uh,
good stuff.
he doesn't bite. He's
No,
basically
I do. I definitely do. But
okay, don't let him fool you, he does not do it, alright? He says it.
we actually are still in Swiss round two.
Really? I don't see any table. Oh, wait, I see one table. It's table 12. I feel
April
like the
12th.
minute I join
And
it, it's probably gonna end.
think it's in a tiebreaker at the moment. We'll see what we got here. It is a tiebreaker between a Lyra matchup of Finn versus Navenka. And we do have a 2020 Lakshmi for
Which is
Lakshmi
what the
for the Navenka. So I'm
and, what the hell happened here?
been doing a lot of dice rolling
Yeah,
apparently to use that Lakshmi.
they have
So
the friend has a unique, Tomo Gaisen that's been, exhausted, I guess, by from the Snowball Commando.
oof,
From hand,
r-
you may put a card from hand in reserve. You do, you may return a card from reserve to your hand, so he's a bouncer. Nothing really special about it.
ooh, the roll does help out a lot here because it will dole out 2 boosts, one for each character.
Yeah.
And past
The off you go was good, but then
uh,
the Daedalus just came in last second.
so that roll there will lock things down here for the Navenka player. Fun little setup there. Glad we got to watch that very end there. Would be curious to see what the setup is for that new card from Whispers from the Maze and how they were able to get up to 20 20
Yeah,
20.
that was insane. Did they I was looking at their discard a little bit, but I couldn't pinpoint any cards that would help.
No, that wasn't insane. That was rhubarb. Insane we watched at the beginning. I love it. Anyway,
What did that happen here?
Swiss round 3, we're getting into it right away. Let's take a look at who we can go ahead and
Have we
watch. You
not seen yet? Hmm.
got any preferences? I honestly haven't been tracking who we've been watching. We
I've been
want
kind of tracking a little bit. We could do table 11.
Alright, table 11 it is. I'll take your word for it. Sweet Danny versus Argon.
11. I seen Argon play before. I'm not sure about Sweet Danny.
Yeah. I'm glad you decided to join. You can just leave it on, Cole, and then you
Yeah,
can
cool. You know,
interact with your partner. You don't
yeah,
have
I
to.
can't believe you abandoned me.
Said something about how you could smell you through the screen. That's why you
Dude, I don't
decided
know
to
why
play.
Cole wants to bully me so much.
'Cause he's a bully. It's okay. It's how those
No,
Muna players are. Anyway,
they just cry about not having any removals, and then next thing you know, they just bully everybody else that has it.
we do see another Trace. Gosh, I swear, one Trace wins a tournament, and you just can't stop seeing them these days. But Trace versus Sigismar.
I mean, would you prefer to see a bunch of Trace, or are you gonna be rather see a bunch of Six Mars and goal rank?
I don't know, man. I'd be fine seeing a goal ring. All right, sounds good, Cole. Thanks for the lurk. I'll be sure to check my email just as long as it's not a picture of something that you've already sent me. I'm tired of those. Um, either way, we do have a quick counter here after a sabotage.
I wonder if there's any Mundo players in today's tournament. I hope there's at least one.
Sure, there is probably usually at least one, but we in fact have not. Oh no, we did see. Remember, Maddox was playing the Argent. Oh, you couldn't
I,
see it.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, fair.
So all I gotta know is maybe no one's playing any Mundo.
For as far as you're concerned, Muna does not exist, but, in this scenario, it does.
Oh, I forgot to change scenes. Thank you, Call. My first time forgetting. I've been good so far.
Um, yeah, you're gonna make sure everyone can actually watch the game these days. You've been doing
Uh,
good so far. We do have 2 counters on here on the trace, so I can talk as much as possible, and we don't even need to do the
yeah,
scenes, right?
no,
Um,
you
follow
are the scene.
yeah, followed by an Ordis Trooper. Gotta love that 1 cost on the
I
Sigismar.
hate that Orders Trooper so much.
Probably one of the best 1 cost cards in the game, just for the stats and
And
just
we got,
basically
Bravo
saying,
Dash in play here. Looks like, they're gonna go for a double advancement here.
yep. Getting that early lead here for the Sigismar player. We'll have to deal with that Haven later on, though. I don't think it's worrying him too much with the amount of counters that we
Interesting
see
to see, bug out
out of the
bag
trace.
used in Trist. I'm not sure that's, very common to use at all. I mean,
Bug
correct
out
me if
bag
I'm
is popular everywhere. If you're Axiom, you gotta throw. I think it should be a requirement that if you play an Axiom hero, you have to have at least one brass bug producing card these days. That's what makes cards. That's what makes an Axiom hero Axiom. Because if I remember correctly, someone was saying that Trace is an Axiom because they don't produce a lot of bugs.
they produce 0 bugs. There's not a lot of bugs. They produce 0 bugs.
So that's why you got to play the bug out bag. Easy. You see a second Haven come up
Oh, we got a Unique Ganassi right
and a
on the
unique
board.
Anansi. Yes. When you create a token, I gain 2 boosts. So that's probably why we saw that bug out bag.
Oh, we got a combo wombo here. Ah,
And from reserve, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 1 boost for each card in your reserve. So it'll get the boost for that and potential boosts on board based on the tokens being produced. And I imagine they're more than likely going to be brass books.
yeah, but the problem is Triss is kind of still lacking on resources here, and they might lose a double advancement.
I'm going to tap both of their havens here. Interestingly enough, they will not get the boost for the brass bug because it's not a character that they played from reserve. It is, in fact, just the gear. So probably just exhausting both of those just to exhaust both of those. And we will look at another double advance for the Sigismar player who is officially now just 2 advances away from taking this game and just making the Sweet Danny on the trace go over and just stay at home on both the hero and the companion
Yes,
side.
Danny is thinking so I was like, "Why don't you even bother showing off today?" uh, this is it's hard.
Yeah, Trace does in fact have
Oh,
the Grims
crabs,
that can
that's
exhaust.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Forgot about
I still heard that Trace is in fact not Axiom. That's what they kept on saying when we
I didn't
watched,
dang, I didn't know Trez was factionless, man, that's crazy.
yeah, yeah, they kept on saying Trace was not Axiom when we were doing the streaming for the, French qualifier. Every single win that Trace got, all the Axiom players are saying, "Nope, not Axiom. We can't actually have a good hero. Then we won't have anything to complain about," is what I kept on hearing them say, so either way, we do have a significant lead here by the Sigismar player, just 2 advances away, has 3 cards in hand, only 4 counters here for the Trace, who can get the activation with this Anansi play, but will have to use 3 mana to do it, and that is half of what they already have. They could probably guarantee that they will advance on one side and prevent a 2-0, but you never know if there's some removal waiting for them.
Yeah, there's always that take 1 license withdrawal and just for you to cry and go back home and go to sleep.
Probably not go to sleep. They're in Brazil, so
Ah,
they may have some dinner
they
before
might
they go
have
to
some dinner,
sleep.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair, fair. Oh, we got a little stamp stiffer.
Sap Sniffer indeed comes out here just for a little quick after
The
you to see
Frog Prince. I'm
if they
assuming
are
they're gonna play the Anasi here. But
if they do play it, they will have to throw a card into reserve.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure this Anansi has it or not, be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll only get 1 boost based off of the 1
Yeah,
card in reserve, and then they'd
and
have to assume that maybe the card they put in the reserve is a bug out bag that could produce, a token that would help out the Anansi potentially,
the
but
problem is too is the Sigma has 4 characters, so that's enough to play a Teamworks Training to knock that thing out.
could in fact be the situation here. Interestingly enough, we don't see okay, I was wondering why we didn't see the Havens being activated for the Anansi. Looks like they're just gonna leave those available for the Keylon
Yeah,
elemental potentially.
yep. There's a Teamworks Training.
Yeah, they will be able to put a lot of boost on that Keylon elemental to be able to block on that hero side and be able to advance themselves. So it won't be a 2-0 in this scenario, but making Trace use every single resource that they
It's
have.
looking really dicey for Trace here.
Yeah.
But Sigmar also is lacking on resources now too.
And Trace has officially not been shut out. They do leave the hero side and they are making their way through the tumult. So
Yep.
the only thing that could stop them now is a rogue Sakurabu, which I believe is no longer in Ordis these days. I mean, they could, but I'm almost positive they're not.
I'm just waiting for them to play Kraken.
Miss the old days of the Sigismar Krakens, but I don't believe we'll be seeing those anytime soon, but could be surprised.
Come here with some slow play, playing the one cost card to see what the Sigmar's gonna do here.
Yeah, we could
Imagine
get
just trying to overpower just one lane. Oh, unique Ozma. At dust, if you have less than 8 mana orbs, draw a card. An opponent draws 1 card. Oh, or does a resupply, you may pay 1 that you could create a token, the Orders token in the Hero Expedition.
interesting. Sucks that you have to pay one for it, but
I mean, if somebody plays cheap cards, I'm assuming playing 1 right now ain't gonna kill them.
so we will see the draw there. We'll get a chosen ability. They're going to choose not to activate the effect, which makes me think that they have two cost plays here between the Frog Prince and maybe another removal that they're going to try to end this game with. Maybe another teamwork training or something along those lines. But more than likely, we're going to see the Frog Prince come out here and then another 2 cost play from hand on the Sigismar, but, we'll have to see if that is in fact the play that they decide to go with.
It's just that they didn't pay 1 for the traceability. I guess it's just there for just for the draw, and that's it.
Yeah, like I said, I think they more than likely need that mana, and they have a 2 cost play here that involves removal. So can't really afford just to do that for a token these days, especially on the hero side specifically that has to deal with that sap sniffer. But we'll see if that's the case. 4 forest is a good amount of terrain to have to deal with, especially with only a Keylon elemental visible here for the Traced and having already used their ability. It will get the advantage of a boost from the Haven Bravos Bastion.
But they need to play another, probably a Pratt, the bug out bag, depending on what the 6 more has in their hand.
Yeah, they'll have at least another. Oh, and
Oh,
they'll have a rallying
rally
call
call.
player. So some more boosts to deal out here. So the brass bug from the bug out bag will not be enough to block in forest at this point. The trace has to have something else to be able to block up to 6 forest on
Yeah,
the companion side,
it's
which
rough.
I'm not sure they have at this point. We'll
Unless they
have to
play
see if
some
that
crazy unique here that has like all forest.
could definitely be the scenario, but at the moment they are taking their time to think this one out. We could be looking at the you know what we could be seeing? We could see the rare idea of like a not a magical training, mechanical training come out for the trace, right? See
Yeah.
those a lot in trace decks.
We can also
Yeah.
see Avalanche, honestly. There is Avalanche is actually perfect for this scenario here.
Could be. Don't see a lot of avalanches these days either, but,
Really? I see. I've been seeing them for quite a bit. Oh,
there is the Hooked. So they were thinking about how they wanted to play this one. The Hooked will put over the Frog to still be able to advance on the hero side. So only 1 mana here for the Trace, so they're digging, hoping they can find something. 1 mana left here for the Sigismar. Where are they gonna throw that boost on for the Rallying Call?
I'm assuming you just throw it on the Frog Prince here.
No,
Or
they could throw it on the
oh
Ozma,
yeah,
but
that was well, yeah, that's right. They're competing for Forest and Mountain
yeah.
here.
Yeah, they'll split both sides just to give themselves option to advance on at least one. We get the GGs in the chat. Sigismar will
You
take
good
this
job,
one,
Argon.
and,
Siggy winning again. What a surprise.
interesting setup here for the Trace, though, nonetheless, as we come on back to the Swiss round 3, right? We're in
Yes,
3?
we're at round 3, so plenty of games to watch here. Um, trying to decide to see who has the lowest progress here. We can watch. We can do table 8. We have not watched these guys yet.
Table 8 it is.
All right, I gotta pee, so I'll be right back.
Alright, as long as you left me with a game, I'll talk.
Game is up.
Awesome. We do have a Basira versus a Trace setup. This may as well be an oops all Trace Wednesday because Uh, we've seen Trace in just about every round. I am a big Basira fan these days. The unique on the Ozma is from anywhere. If you control one or more landmarks, draw a card, and then from reserve, up to two target characters each gain one boost. So a solid Ozma that we have as well, but it is dead even on the board. Trace is low on resources, but they do have 2 cylinders out as well as the 5 counters needed with the scrap counters to keep on drawing cards. So we'll see if they can use that to make a comeback. The Basira does have the Bravos version of the Haven Bravos Bastion that just lets you use it all the time from reserve. So they could try to dominate with that. We'll have to find out if there is enough available to them. Mighty Jin is a likely play as it does come out here on the perfect setup on the expeditions for those 2 terrains. Have to imagine Trace has an answer after already playing the Amelia Earhart on that side. We'll go ahead and do the traceability to figure that out, and a Grimm's will come out here. Could see the removal of that Haven Bravos Bastion if they want to not deal with that permanent any longer instead of producing a brass bug, and that is what happens. Grimm's probably the best setup for removal of the Haven Bravos Bastion. Back in the old days, it just did not feel good to have to remove a 2 cost with usually a 3 cost, or if you wanted to use a 2 cost, it costs you a mana or something along those lines. But we will see that unique Ozma come out. It does have the ability from reserve to give 2 target characters a boost. Will not get the draw from anywhere because they do not have a landmark after the Bravo Bastion
All
play
right.
being removed.
Looks
Um,
like we're pretty even here on expeditions. Oh, never mind. Got hooked.
Yeah, I'm throwing out the hooked, trying to avoid a 2-0 advance here, I think, from the Trace, or at least trying to set themselves up. The Trace did end up being able to get rid of that Haven by playing the Grims and removing it, also making it impossible for the Basira to draw using that unique Ozma because it needs a landmark in play.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Saying interested the new Kojo. Ah, hmm, um, I don't know how I feel about that statement. I don't know how I feel about that statement. I feel like Kojo is just easier to get into than Triss, honestly. At
We
least
see
for new
ano
players.
Yeah, we do see another rare hooked play in order to draw another card. Gonna throw everything over on the companion side.
It was a good idea that Daedalus could come in play and wreck the other side.
Yeah, if we do, well, interestingly, they
Oh,
decide not to play the Daedalus and not bet things on a dice roll, which I think I would have preferred, but Instead, they're gonna set up the Haven and throw out a mess in reserve as well.
I mean, it's fair because I don't think they would have enough to compete on the companion expedition with all these Keylon cylinders in play.
Yeah, but now they do get to build up some more counters on those Keylon cylinders without having to force them to use them, I guess. Either way, we do get a 1 for 1 here. Both players just 1-2-0 away from taking this game. Quite interesting little setup here between the Basira and the Trace, both having a good amount of resources and a good amount of stuff to build themselves up.
Well,
And
Mighty
we
Jin was sent to the discard for a draw instead of mana ramping here.
Yeah, it seems like they already have enough of a mana advantage, and they felt like they'd rather just have more cards to play with at this point.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. These two look pretty good in resources here. A little bit more card advantage for Basira to do the stuff in reserve, but
I did see that insane when I was looking at the Dutch qualifier and seeing what you were playing and everything along that side of things. Trace, I think, snuck up on a lot of people when it came to the French qualifier in particular. I don't think a lot of them were
oh, we
expecting
got the
those things.
hunger in play.
Yeah.
Everything discarded
Hunger
and
does
has
come up.
fleeting.
Interestingly enough, I was curious to see why they maybe didn't want to play the mess first. I guess since they played the hunger right away, they more than likely have another 2 costs play here that could potentially give more boosts out, especially since it doesn't look like they activated the Basira hero ability for the hunger.
They still have a chance. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah. Dang, I think people saw you play Triss and they were like, I gotta do the same thing like this guy's doing, but better.
You do get just a simple bug out bag being played.
I wonder if this
Man,
Triss has anything to stop this monstrosity.
probably just going to be happy with a 1 for 1 at this point if they can. Chiron does come out here in this scenario, being able to get up to 3 boosts. So the Trace will have to play at least one other card here to go over the top of things, and it
I'm
will
not
not.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, with the fleeting on the hunger, just
Yeah.
not enough
It's
stats.
hard.
Gigantic. The Trace keeps on digging, but it doesn't look like it's going to be quite enough for them. And just a bunch of bugs over on the hero side at this point, as it looks like we will end things with a 2-0 for the Basir player.
W Basira. W. I do enjoy Basira. I feel like it's an underrated card for sure.
Yeah, I do love the combination of the Arcolano milk and the hunger these days. I think everyone absolutely loves the hunger card and definitely doesn't want to see it nerfed in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, definitely. I would say probably the number one. I would comfortably say it's the number one card for this set, but people might disagree.
It could be. I think there's a lot of folks that are paying a little bit higher than average for that rare.
I'm gonna go to table 10 since we got like two more tables left.
All right, table 10 it is. I
Oh,
believe
we
we
got
got
Aphonis and Lindaway here.
yeah, we did get to watch this Lindaway last round, I believe. I don't
Yeah.
remember if this was with one of the Aphonis's we got to watch.
I don't think so. Oh, interesting that Lindaway here is actually playing Kraken.
Very cool.
Very old school. Which is very weird to say 'cause it hasn't been a whole year yet, but you
It's
know,
really they really need to reward all the players that are able to use the big cost characters these days. Whether it's the Kraken, whether it's the Kaibara, no matter what, I wanna see big cards being played. Everyone likes those cards.
big cards do big things, but sometimes big cards makes people go sad when they go bye-bye.
I'm gonna go ahead and sabotage that sap infusion. The reserve doesn't want to see any more boosts coming out here for the Aphonis, but they have plenty of cards in hand at this
Yeah, this
point,
one has a lot of resources to use here.
and I don't think they could wait too much longer here when it comes with the Lindaway. They're
Yeah,
gonna go ahead and throw out the Kraken. Cross
This
their
is
fingers.
very risky play.
Yeah, cross their fingers. Can't even throw a maw out because they'd have to pay 1 extra. And now we're more than likely going to see a double advance from the Aphonis if they have any interactable. A beauty
Really,
sleep would end the game.
banishing gate, anything.
I doubt we're gonna see a banishing gate. I feel like those have gone away entirely, but
Well,
if
I still use banishing gate, sir. Okay, don't lump me out of the whole situation. Okay.
but I definitely could see a beauty sleep, but we will see a banishing gate. You called it. Who knew?
I'm an finance player, man. I know my people.
Banishing Gate does take this one here for the Aphonis. It does look like they drew it off of that Conjuring Seal potentially. I don't know why they would have played it otherwise. So a good Conjuring Seal play into a Banishing Gate to take out the Kraken, get the 2-0 advance, and potentially in this Swiss round 3.
Yeah, GG Skull Kid. GG. Let's see. Are we ready for round 4?
Maybe could still have that one game still going. It says look like it's still actively going. Maybe. Nope. I think that
I don't see any games going.
that should be it. We should be getting some more matchups for everyone here,
Oh,
but I
there
want to
we
thank
go.
anyone. Yeah, I want to thank everyone that has joined us thus far for the AWOL Season 3, Wednesday Weekly number 6. I am Blue, and of course, Gus is on the keys to be able to direct the stream. He learned it in like 5 seconds. No one
Yeah,
needs it.
I'm like, yep, this is this and that's and this. All right, let's hope it works. And there we go.
Easy, easy peasy. Anyone can do it. So if you
Make
want to
sure
join the
everyone,
stream
yeah,
team, yeah, go ahead
join,
and let me know.
especially Monday. We definitely need some people for Monday.
Yeah, EU folks, let us know. Either way, we are in the Swiss round 4. Let's take a look at what we have
Let's see.
available to us.
Refresh. Okay. What we got going on here? Do you want to pick a table this time?
I can. Let's see. Who have we not watched at all? I don't think we've watched anyone on table 16, right?
Table 16. No.
All right, let's take a look. Let's see if they even decide to play. It looks like we're waiting for one Sw-
Volvo Vamp. We're waiting for.
one Swiss player from starting the game up here.
I think this is Freeloader's alt account.
Yeah.
I only know one Swiss person. Is him.
Hey, there's at least 2 Swiss people. There's Freeloader and Keylon guy. They're both
I know Kilango is Swiss. I thought he was German for a while.
well, they're both on the German side of Switzerland, my understanding, but they're both Swiss. Um, not sure if we'll get to see them join. If we don't get to see them join, we can go ahead and head back and watch another game. Let's see what we got going here. It looks like all the other ones have started, so let's go ahead and take a look at I feel
I'll
like we've watched a
do
lot of
14.
people already.
We haven't seen 14.
Okay, 14 it is. Navinka versus Kojo.
All right, now we got something more refreshing here. No trysts for at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird not seeing a Trace being played, but I am a big fan of Navinka. Probably my favorite Lyra hero. I don't usually play Finn, but could be cool to see what they got.
You don't like
I know.
Orac that much?
Huh?
Don't
Not
like
a big fan of Orac either, but who knows? Maybe one of these days. Either way, Navinka is on the top of my tier list at the moment as far as Lyra heroes that I prefer. We did get to see that one that had that Lakshmi that had 20 in stats. I'm not sure if it was this specific
I don't think it
Navinka.
was this person, no.
Okay, but either way, would have been it'll
I
be
mean, I
cool
could
if
be
we get to
wrong,
see it.
but they just started playing a unique right away.
Okay. Yeah, it is a unique Ouroboros Inkcaster that it has 2 from reserve effects here, if I can take a look at it quick enough. You may return a card from your reserve to your hand. If you have 3 or more base statistics of 0 among characters you control, you may return a card from your reserve to your hand. So double card return as long
That's
as you
crazy.
have the 0 cost available to you.
I mean, it just takes one simple trickster. And there you go.
It does indeed. We will instead see a
Uh,
Lyric
Contortionist.
Contortionist coming out.
I'm not sure how I feel about Larry Contortionist. I'm I'm not sure how this card plays for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not much of a Lyra player neither, so I'm not sure you could give me some insight and the folks with insight about Lyra Contortionist.
I was a big fan of it originally when on the early on days and just the idea behind it, but I think it's just not necessarily the same. You're not getting the same amount from it just for the idea of having an additional card in your reserve. Maybe someone will find a better way to make it work, but we will see an anchor coming out here for the Esmeralda. Think they were potentially hoping to get a boost instead. It wouldn't have mattered, so the anchor is probably better. So instead, we will see a 2-1 coming out here for the Kojo player, who is now 3 advances away from taking this game over the Navenka.
Yeah. I wonder if I wonder how the Lyra Contortionist uniques are. I wonder if they provide any benefits to the reserve count.
I've not seen one in particular yet, so I'm sure there could be some fun ones out there. It's always interesting when there are specific effects on specific characters for uniques and how people are able to make those work. We might be able to see the Novenka be able to get that Inkcaster to work to return at least one card here on this day, but we'll need to get some other zero costs or zero statted characters out there before they can get that second effect.
Yeah, I wonder if they're willing to. Thing is, I'm not sure they want to bounce back the Lyra Contortionist early on like that. I don't see any benefit of just bouncing that back to your hand.
I feel like if they're going to bounce anything back, they're probably going to want to get that Snowball Commando to get some
Yeah.
more exhausting going. But we'll see if that is the case here. They do have plenty of options or different lines that they can play. If they so choose, 3 mana could be a lot for them to pay at this point. Instead, they're going to opt to throw out the
Nope.
Tanuki and just sabotage.
Optus Iron Garb, yep, goes away. I remove any draw potential for the Kojo player here.
Trying to eliminate the resources for Bravos. Once upon a time, it was difficult to get resources as a Bravos hero. Nowadays, it feels like they have plenty of resources to be able to build off. Haven Sarengar is definitely one of them. We'll have to see if they're able to do
We
anything
got
else.
one of the newer cards from Requiem,
Yeah, Rare Requiem able to come out here. It does have the cooldown effect and able to discard a fleeting or a sleep character with hand cost 4 or less.
and then we got Scotty in play.
Yeah, so it looks like we will still have a 1-for-1 here. The boosts will help. Oh, nope, 2 for 1 actually with that boost.
Help with that
So,
ocean right there.
yep, able to get enough on
I call
the
it
water
say
side of
water.
things. Yeah, water side of things to get the advance there. It does still maintain a lead for the Kojo player who will be on a Buddha turn and will be able to exhaust with that Scotty if they so choose.
I'm assuming they probably might exhaust the Incaster. They don't bounce the Requiem back into hand.
Could do that. I think that's probably the safe bet, so that way whatever they exhaust doesn't have the ability to return to hand, like you mentioned with the Inkcaster. Or they could do something else, we'll have to see. They may just not exhaust at all. Either way,
Maybe they don't believe in exhausting.
yeah,
It's
they
optional.
yeah, they could just be exhaustless. They only wanted to play this Scotty for the amazing stats for 2 mana from hand.
I thought you were gonna say because of the cool art.
Scotty is fun, but, they got Scotty in this game as far as different Norse mythology is concerned. But we do have to wait here for the Kojo player to make their move. Both players decided to mana. I'm feeling that we're more than likely going to see the Scotty play, but we could just see a card from hand.
I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty good option for Hero Expedition or the Companion Expedition. I mean, or going for Mountain here. Yeah, they ended up exhausting the Inkcaster. The Megalith has one card in hand, so I'm not sure what they really plan to do here. I mean, they could play the Requiem from the reserve and bounce the Scotty off the table here, or some crazy Mage Dancer unique from their hand.
Yeah. Requiem feels good as far as card removal, but I feel like they're probably
Oh,
gonna want to also
no?
be able to put a character out there as well. So we'll have to see if they do have a response here to at least go 1 for 1. Last thing they need is to
Oh,
get
another
2-0'd here.
Scotty right here, yeah. I think they might just play the Liar Contortionist. No, never mind, they got this Erangel.
Um, Contortionist has been getting its money worth here as far as being able to stay in reserve while keeping the other cards available to the Navenka at this point, but they are in a rough spot, 2 spots down on the Tumult. The Kojo will just need 1 more to take this game and can give up a 2-0 technically if they so choose, but, I imagine they're probably gonna wanna try to close this one out. And with seeing that Haven Saragar on the board, probably going to run away and go towards the companion side and try to advance in water. So that is the least amount of stats that we see on the Navenka, at least characters that we can see on the board.
Yeah. I wonder if, they're gonna play the Inkcaster first turn so it doesn't get exhausted.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like at this point, they may want to stick with the lower cost characters, probably more than likely want to throw out the Sarengar to guarantee the hero side, but then try to deal with things on the other side. But it looks like they are going to throw it out. Interesting because they're going to have to use 3 mana for this and will only have 2 2 mana plays, which basically makes their curve known to the Kojo. And the question is do they have the cards to be able to counter it?
Yeah. I wonder if the Koja player is gonna have to okay, they actually decided to okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I wanted to gonna try to beat the same lane here until, like, last second.
Yeah, no real reason to at this point. And yeah, with that Martingale play, that's gonna be everything that we know for the Navenka.
Oh,
And
the, Haven Warriors, beastie stats.
Contortionist will come out, but even with that, oh, they decide just to pass, knowing that they can't
Yeah,
do anything. That
that's
will be a GG for the Kojo player. Finally get to see the Inkcaster, unique Inkcaster come out, but doesn't really do anything.
yeah, it was getting exhausted multiple times hurt. It definitely hurt. Alright, let's see who to watch next.
Gonna head on back here in the Swiss round of 4 for this AWOL weekly number 6. Plenty of games still left to take a
Oh,
look
plenty
at.
of games. You wanna go to table I should let you pick the table since I told you to pick a table, then I took it away from you.
I
Here's
mean, at
the
this
idea.
point, we've seen just about everyone. Let's go to table 7, I guess.
Alright, we got a Aphonis and a Sierra player here.
Do see the Nilum out, and the Nilum and the Grassbug Hive out for the Sierra, so looking pretty good at this point, but they do have to deal with all those cards that the Aphonis has in hand.
Yeah, and it's brutal. It's brutal for the Sierra player. I feel like Sierra doesn't have that much draw power.
Yeah, I think they rely a lot on the ability of cards like the Ouroboros to be able to resupply into things.
Yeah. Just
Um,
resupplying more and more their faction, but
but we will see a field reinforcements, a card that has been a little bit popular with the Aphonis decks these days, especially if you can keep things even, do a little
oh,
potential of
so we got
zigzag.
the rare mechanical training.
Yeah, rare mechanical training, that card we get to see a lot of, and it's going to allow them to be able to activate anywhere ability of 2 target permanents. Now the question is, okay, so they do one of the exhausts and as well as the Brasswick Hive, but it will get equally exhausted here from the Rhyme Frost. Only 2 mana left to play, gonna have to
I
pass.
guess. I wonder they got how much removal had they played so far? They haven't played that much removal, just Banshee Gate and License Withdrawal. Oh, we got another one, License Withdrawal.
Another license withdrawal does indeed come out here.
Surprisingly, this car is $5 on the market. I'm not sure it's still $5 now, but like a week or two ago,
Yeah,
that
that
rare
and
card is $5. I'm like, dang, dude.
yeah, that and hunger have been big ones lately. But with that play, it will be enough boost for the Aphonis. I imagine they're probably not going to want to play anything else. I guess they could just play the Rhyme Frost for funsies if they so choose. But
I would they probably don't want to do it because they probably want to exhaust the medical training right away.
Yeah, but it feels like the cards that they have in reserve with it are probably cards they also want to keep over the Rhyme Frost potentially, but who knows? They may decide to get rid of either the Moth to a Flame or the Sap Infusion, and they
Yeah.
do decide to get rid of the Sap Infusion.
Yeah, Sierra is just down on resources now. And it's kind of looking bad for them at this point.
Now, they will have the ability to throw out the Brass Bug Hive token here. The question is do they have some more mechanical trainings that they can work with if they get hit by that Rhyme Frost immediately? Which I have to imagine they probably will, even though they won't get a boost out of it by playing a spell for the Aphonis. But
Oh,
well,
it's a sabotage instead.
yeah,
I
sabotage.
wonder I wonder they threw that card on this day.
Probably just opting to keep the Rhyme Frost just in case there is another mechanical training that comes out. Instead, we will see
They kill
the
on
Keylonic
it.
Heater in the rare version, so it will activate both the Nilum and the Sierra ability here because it is a 3 cost. So
Yeah.
grass bugs everywhere and at least one moth.
I wonder how on this I wonder they have a one let me see where they're playing they are playing rare magical training. See, if I was as a finals player, I would have Blizzard in hand. I would not be playing till the last second, but that's just me.
They are going to try to contest that companion side, so maybe they do have something here to deal with those bugs.
Yeah. Interesting that they didn't wanna stack it up like that. Okay. I wonder they have like two off you goes in your hands.
Off you goes, beauty sleeps, any type of interactable available to them. I believe there's been a use for Evanescence lately on the Aphonis side of things as far as new cards. So we'll see if that is the case for the Aphonis player. We do see an interesting one cost
Oh,
play from the Sierra for the Machine in the Ice.
that's
So
true. I've not seen Machine Ice in quite a bit. Mainly
keep
I've
in
seen
mind
it more sub hashtags, but
Yeah, keep in mind there are a lot more robots these days that do get boosts abilities, and since the machine the ice is a character, can be played on that Keylonic heater side, and it will get the boost, but it will get
oh, hit
immediately
off
off
you
you go.
go, and that is enough to get one advantage from one side.
Yep, can decide on advancing on one side here, or going for a double block potentially if they don't want to go to a tiebreaker. A tiebreaker could be something what they want to avoid when having to deal with a hive and would rather just go into another setup here. If they go onto the moth, it will do a tie. If they go on to the tooth fairy, it will go into a tiebreaker. So should be interesting to see what they decide on here. What do you think you would do?
I think it depends on my two cards in hand. If they're both removal, I think I'd rather go for a tie. If they're both like characters, then I probably would have gone for tiebreaker arena.
So they do opt to go for the moth and go for a tie here, and will play another day not in the arena tiebreaker. So
It's very risky to for that move.
yeah, it does not wanna have to deal with the potential of the hive putting out some brass bugs in the tiebreaker and producing a lot of stats. But with that last day, the Sierra did decide not to mana, so they will be 1 mana behind here.
Decided to keep Divine Frost in play. I guess they're afraid any more mechanical training, especially the rare ones.
That did cost the Aphonis a lot of resources in hand to keep up on that turn, so we'll have to see if what they have in hand will be enough. They can opt to keep because they will be equal in mana if they so choose, but the Sierra will have first play, so the Rhyme Frost may not be a factor at the moment unless they have something else that they're playing from hand that will go to reserve. But in the
That's true.
meantime, we will see the at noon effect of the Brass Bug Hive.
Oh, another Neelom right there.
Max taking out all the trace one by one. It's surprisingly it took you this long to run into a trace. We've seen nothing but trace for
My
this tournament thus far.
anti-trace deck paid off. You say you're playing what deck are you playing, Maddox? Didn't you say
I
it was Argon blue?
I thought it was an Argent deck when I looked at it, but
There's
I
no
could be
way.
wrong.
That does not exist.
So we do see the Ramfrost come up to take out that Chemonic heater, but there are a lot of tokens up here on the board.
There are a lot of
Espec
tokens, but oh, they had nothing else to play from a hand?
Okay, so they're just leaving it up to the Aphonis. Do they have the characters it takes and the corresponding spells to take at least one side?
Yeah, I think at this point they might have to just go for the tiebreaker arena here.
It's doubtful that they'll be able to put up at least 10, 10, 10 in stats between the two different expeditions. But
Oh,
gonna do a little bit of digging
right
here
in the
for the magical
beginning.
training.
Yeah, that's kind of bad because they were not able to play a character, get a boost for that one. It's not looking good for them. Oh, okay.
Some
Cycling
more
back that
spells.
two fairy.
Yes.
Oh,
No, the magical
no.
training, they're digging. Whatever they're digging for it. Beauty sleep does come out. So they could have used the beauty sleep, but the fact that they didn't makes me think that they have 0 characters to play up until this point.
Yeah, I don't think that was a wise choice. I think I would have bounced a two fairy back, put something to sleep, and then just pray that the next turn I could get something.
Yeah, Argent quits is in fact the way, Maddox. Happy that you're running it, and we will see the beauty sleep come out here, which means they
Oh
ran
wait,
into
never mind. Sleight of hand's only for spells.
yeah. Yeah,
I wasted.
they ran into no characters here, it looks like, and it will be a Sierra victory. Yeah,
No
Zed
carrots.
is asking if he had no characters, and it seems like that was the case.
Yeah,
Unfortunate for the Afonso
habits.
player.
It happens a lot of times with Aphonis when you're running like 20 plus spell cards.
Yeah. No characters. The one Tooth Fairy got immediately exhausted, and that was all she wrote for the Afonis player, and Sierra takes that one.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, Zed. America taking it home. Hell yeah, dude.
So could be nearing the end of the Swiss round 4 here. I'm
Really?
gonna
I
take a
thought we. You know what? You're absolutely right. I did forget we did watch that one game earlier, huh?
yeah.
Let's
So
see.
coming near the end here, still a few games left here to be played before we get into the Swiss round 5.
You want to do what? Do we want to do here?
I'll just go to table 12, I guess.
Gotta refresh. There we go.
Table 12, we've already seen Sweet Danny play a little bit, and we will also get to see Justice play on the Finn.
Oh, we got Fen this time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing Sweet Danny play this on Nazi before, where they essentially gained a lot of boost from the reserve and creating a token.
Are in a situation right now where the Finn could double advance depending on what the Trace
Oh,
has, but a
got
hooked
hooked.
comes out to play. We'll get a draw. We'll make it at least a 1 for 1. Still 1 mana left here to play for the Trace player, though.
It's just easy to see the rare man paying quarters being played because I just been seeing a lot of people just play the regular common version of it.
Well, we'll just be a Sap Sniffer coming into play. We do have a scenario that only 1 more advance needed by the Trace. Well, we need a double advance for the Finn.
It's
Both
still
players
anyone's
do have an
game.
option here, though. So, yeah, anybody's game indeed. So have to see who can take it. The Trace does have 2 of the Haven Bravo Sebastians available to them
Well, a
if
Sam
they so
Sipper as
choose.
well. But that's pretty much a 3 boost guaranteed right there.
It's pretty similar as far as resources available, and we'll have to see if they're able to make
Oh,
anything
but
work.
Fan is showing a twinkle twinkle on the reserve here.
Sap Sniffer does get its boost, and they're just gonna do a little bit of slow play with the rare out of faction magical training for the Finn player. Probably gonna run into a situation where the Trace is gonna run out of cards to play, especially being a mana down. and we may be looking at a lot of slow play here from the Finn player, especially if they use the Twinkle Twinkle for cost reduction.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, wonder. Okay, they put down the Amelia Earhart down for a cheap one from reserve.
Yeah, just more and more slow play for the Trace at this point. They're trying to avoid the possibility of the Finn trying to last play around them and try to catch up in this game because they all they need is one advance, and we will see more and more one cost cards being played, especially with that Martingale. Question is, how many more do each of these heroes have in order to be able to take this game at the very end?
Interesting that they didn't trigger the Bravos Bastion for the Amelia Earhart.
Probably just
That's
saving
probably
it.
why the Keelan Elemental.
Have another one cost card here to play in the Salvager. Just trying to save that last bit of stats and last bit of boost for them to take at least one advance here on the Tumult and take the game from the Finn player and Justice.
Oh, decided to play the Twinkle Twinkle early here. I was assuming they would be playing like one more card at least.
Looks like they're just playing every possible lower cost item that they have, knowing now what the trace has to them. We won't see any other cards unless we will see that rare hook being played for a draw, which they definitely still can do. And depending on what they resupply here,
Oh, the Gibble.
Gibble will allow another resupply.
I mean, fans could have another Twinkle Twinkle in their hands.
Have a lot of interactables. They do have 4 mana here. Both players trying to do as many little pseudo after use as they possibly can. They both want to be the last player to play on this day so that way
Yeah,
they can take
and
the game.
and they can still play another one cost right here, Fulton Delivery.
Yep.
Oh, we gotta. Oh, they have to reshuffle their deck or their discard.
You may sacrifice a permanent. If you do, I gain 1 boost for each landmark you control. So it would only get 1 boost here in this scenario.
I mean, it's beneficial at this point because both their Bravos Bastions are exhausted at the moment.
Could decide to throw out a hooked to set up and potentially draw a 1 cost card, but they are just going to throw it over on the companion side and see if there's anything that the Finn has to try to counteract them.
They decide not to sack their permanent.
Yeah. Snowman does come into play, will get fleeting. Thought they were able to use that to be able to block, and it won't be enough on the forest side of things. And the Trace player will take this game over the Finn. Just too many stats and too many small cards
Yeah,
for both sides.
it was interesting to see a lot of slow play happening there, but sadly, the fan play didn't have enough power to overcome the Trist.
Indeed. That should be pretty close to the end of this round. We may have 1 or 2 more games to take a look at. In fact, we do still have 1 game on the top here on table 1.
All right, insane. Let's see this unique Merlin that you told us. I don't see anything on the board.
Check discard. No unique Merlin. It's almost like he's a liar.
I believe it.
Um, but it is a very close game here. Both players are even on the tumult. Pass by insane. They don't have anything left as far as stats, so it
It's
will be
funny
just
because we just saw a Trist versus Fen, and now Fen won this game.
yeah, and it will be the victory for Ed Inser on the Finn, taking the victory over Insane. Oh, I don't see anything in the reserve. I'm not
Now
sure
see,
what that is.
I saw nothing in the reserve.
Yeah,
Nothing. I'm looking at the reserve right now. Nothing.
the the everything switched to the recap screen too quickly for the game
Yeah,
results.
yeah.
So absolutely no unique there for Insane, especially after that loss. Either way,
That's why he
GG's.
gets for lying to us.
Yeah, GG's to the Finn player. That will be the end of the Swiss round 4. We're going into the second to the last round of the Swiss round 5 for the AWOL season 3 Wednesday weekly number 6. Once again, want to thank everyone that joined us. I am Blue, and
I
who
am
are you?
I'm you, and you and me. I'm Gus. And remember to like and subscribe, guys.
There you go, exactly.
Ring that bell,
There you
of
go.
course.
Ring the bell indeed. So we are in the top rounds here. We have 3 undefeated players, it looks like at this point, so we
We
may
got
as well take
Mr.
a look at
Our
the
Uncle Poe. I don't think I ever see Uncle Poe undefeated before.
maybe not. Also, we should take a look at these top tables at this point then, so we'll take a look at table 1 to start us off here.
I believe he's a Filipino player.
Alright. So we'll head on over to this game. Take a look at these top tables. Second to last round, 2 undefeated players here. One of them will have the opportunity to win this entire event going into round 6. See who can take the whole thing.
I'm surprised to see so many trysts today. It is quite it was quite a turnaround. I'm not sure how it was for AWOL Monday. I'm not even sure the results have been posted up for Monday.
Oh, we have a Aphonis mirror matchup.
Ah, this is now I know why Poe's been doing so good today. He decided to join the dark side.
Philippines versus Chile.
You guys, if you don't know, these two countries have a lot of history uh, together.
We have a solid Conjuring Seal start here for the top
Knowledge,
Aphonis.
I'm pretty sure.
I think Aphonis's do love their Conjuring Seal starts, especially if they only give up 1 expedition and
We
not
we
2.
definitely do. If honest, nowadays don't mind playing behind a little bit.
Yeah.
But
But we'll see what yeah, see what the bottom of Aphonis can do in response.
having the spindle harvester out here early, especially in a favorable terrain, is good for them too.
Yes, indeedy. We'll see what they start off with here. Oh, we get to see the Baba Yaga, not a card we get to see on Ordis anymore these days. But Faunus, Ysmir can still make it work.
I'm glad they still can. We got the mage dancer trying to show up front for the oh, we got a common stap infusion, get that extra boost for the mage dancer so they could draw a card at dusk.
A lot of resources here for the top of Faunus at this point. After that Conjuring Seal play, only 1 spot down on the Expedite on the Tumult as well. So looking pretty good. Haven't seen any uniques from either of Faunus. I both have to imagine both have some variations of potential card return and or boosts. We'll just have to see how this turns out. But interesting start off here with the mirror matchup and seeing who can take this one. I feel like having that Katagarin Mage Dancer available to them, especially as the first turn of Faunus here, it's going to feel pretty good not having to worry about a sabotage of any sort.
That is true. I mean, playing Conjuring Seal at the very beginning is a very strong start for any Aphonis player.
And we'll start off with that Mage Dancer. Bottom of Faunus is going to go to the opposite side, going to try to zigzag and maintain that lead. We will
Ah, we
front.
got unique right here, already played.
I say unique and we see unique. It's a Spindle Harvester, 2/2 cost. I get anchored from hand at dusk. If I have 2 or more boosts, you may return a card other than me from your reserve to your hand. So it is a card return, and we will see a
Another
Sap
stap
Infusion. Yeah, play here to get those boosts that you need and throw some more boosts on that Mage Dancer.
you guys are gonna try recycling the sap infusion.
Unfortunately, he will not get enough boosts on that
Oh,
Mage Dancer in order
off you
to
go to just bounce off the
um,
spindle harvester
Not enough on the Mage Dancer to get the card draw needed, but
and
does
get blocked as well from the
yeah,
other the
yeah,
bottom.
will get blocked, and with that, it will be a 2 Tumult advantage for the bottom of Faunus, and honestly, they're pretty similar on resources at this point
Yeah,
too.
the top funding had to use quite a bit of resources to set up the set that up.
Yeah,
That was kind
that's
of a it's kind of a big L for them a little bit just for that to go away since they lost their potential bounce card.
Yeah. It's one of those scenarios where you kind of wish you had the when I leave the expedition zone spindle harvesters instead of the at death spindle harvesters. Not as popular, obviously, but they definitely do have their place within the meta if you can plan it out and you're worried about removal from your opponent.
Let's see what this ooh, we got the bounce back from the off you go here.
We'll go ahead and throw that Moth to a Flame to reserve. A little bit cheaper. Can play 2 costs here. Get a nice
Oh, we
little
got a
3 3
nice tap
3.
toss right here to get rid of Moth to Flame.
Yeah.
Get a good idea. Always a good idea to remove any potential characters that Hans could play because we're very limited on characters. That's a pro tip right there.
More card draw coming out here for the top of Faunus, this time in the version of a rare magical training. You can find a way to fit it, especially while also having rare category and mage dancers. It's always a good idea, but seems like before it's been a situation of not being able to do both. But this top of Faunus has found a way to include all those rares in their deck list, probably taking some others out that they felt like they didn't need.
Yeah, I would argue that they probably took out rare Sap Infusion and just swap it out with rare magical training.
Gotcha. We will see a rare out of faction Hathor, not a
Oh,
card we get to see a
interesting.
lot in these Aphonis decks.
And they probably put back the I'm surprised they didn't bounce the spindle harvester. They have a support ability where they could bounce the spell back from their reserve to their hand. Oh, they play Joyride.
So they will be able to discard that sap infusion with giving enough boost on the spindle harvesters. This will give them the ability to return that magical training, I imagine, to keep on rolling in some more draws. And it will be a 1 for 0, finally catching up a little bit here on the Tumult.
And that was a pretty good card to play for the top of on us.
Yeah. Joyride, a card that we've seen pop up a little bit more here for the Aphonis decks these days. Sometimes just using it purely for the 1 cost spell and getting a boost off of it, even if you're not getting the boost for the actual Joyride spell itself.
Decided to keep Hafter in the reserve. I'm assuming they're gonna try and bounce up either off you go or maybe just bounce off, slide of a hand back to the hand. Oh, we see the Neelam. Okay, we got Finance Neelam here being
Yeah.
played.
Does not want to see that Hathor return that sleight of hand. Setting themselves up a little bit. They are still behind on the tumult, so they have to be wary of the potential of losing too much here. But they are going to have their opponent go on the opposite expedition, so they may not have to spend too many resources here in order to win that companion side.
Yeah, interesting that the bottom finance actually play 3 Baba Yagas, one per day at this point.
Yeah, they've yeah, like you said, interestingly, they have run into all of their Baba Yagas. So
Yeah, I think they decided to do a 1 for 1 trade here. I'm not sure
both
if they want to play anything else, if they have a magical training or something.
feel like unless there's more setup they wanna do, that there wouldn't be a really big reason to, but they can do it now just to force the top of Faunus to make another play if they wanna get that advance that you're talking about.
Yeah, they have magical training in their hand, so and they'll probably play sleight of hand or magical training from their hand, either or. As a finance player, the bottom don't want to use too many resources here because I have not seen them draw anything besides Baba Yagas.
Yeah, so with this play right here, we will see another
Oh,
advance here for
yeah,
the
unique though.
yeah, we'll still see the bottom, Faunus rather, maintain their lead on the top Faunus. Should be interesting to see if they can keep going on here. It's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of little pseudo fake outs between these Aphonis players and trying to maintain card advantage and see who can also maintain the lead on the board.
So they have a unique Nyla in the reserve from anywhere. Exchange target card in reserve with a card from your hand, or they use this ability where they next spell they play they lose fleeting. I don't think they'll be playing any cards, maybe a Blizzard, but I think I'm the only Finals player that plays Blizzard. Or Banshee Gate could work too, since it has fleeting, but I guess they didn't want to keep it. So
Yeah, honestly, really surprised to see the prevalence of the banishing gate these days. I don't know if everyone's trying to start using one ofs now, but I'd seen a lot of removal of the banishing gate in the Aphonis deck list and opting more towards things like the license withdrawal. But we do see a unique Orders Trooper out there that gets a sleep. But when I leave the expedition zone, if I have one or more boosts, you may return a card other than me, and from hand, target character gains one boost.
yeah, I think blue for the reason for the Banshee Gate is just because license withdrawal is the out of faction card. So that takes a rare slot, and there's not really much choice to remove permanents besides Merlin. Merlin doesn't give boost. Banshee Gates does for Fauna. So I think Banshee Gate is much more favorable to play than Merlin itself. Especially since Merlin it's also has to be rare form just to discard the permanent.
Does cost a lot of mana, so it does give this top of Faunus the ability here, if they have the characters, to try to make some items up here on the Tumult, and that Moth to a Flame will help them at least advance on the companion side. Question is, do they have a one cost card that they can play over on the hero side to even things up and make this an entirely new game?
I mean, they could have Joyride too, but I'm not sure this Conflicts has anything else besides yeah. For that 4 cost Banshee Gate did definitely hurt them for a little bit.
Yeah, this has been definitely a back and forth match. It seems like both players have taken turns doing 1-0 advances and trying to either get back the lead or at least try to even things out when it comes to this top of Faunus who started off with a Conjuring Seal, or keep their lead as this bottom of Faunus just tries to maintain and keep returning cards that they have from reserve with the Sleight of Hands and that Nyala that you mentioned before.
Yeah, problem with the bottom of Fauna here, they haven't really been drawing cards. There's they've been very lacking in drawing cards. I'm not sure because they're not drawing them or they don't have that many in the deck. I would assume they have plenty in the deck, it's just maybe they just have been not drawing them at all. You see another Withered Tree played here.
Yeah, Maddox, that sounds like insane. Saying that they're gonna play a unique Merlin and then not actually doing it. Sad that we got them. We're missing the Arjun versus Trace. We wouldn't be able to watch it anyway because somebody's banned, or I mean blocked. Um, but we do see some more beauty sleeping happening here, and we will see some exhausting coming out of the Milim.
We got a off you go here. I wonder what the Fonz has left in her hand here.
Yeah, definitely could still play another beauty sleep if they so choose, but they would have to worry about the other moth to a flame. So yeah, now we're just in a situation of the top of Faunus. Even if they lose 1-0 here, they could definitely come back and get a 2-0 in the following turn. And the bottom of Faunus is pretty low on resources at this point, not hitting any of their card draw, it seems like.
I wonder I wonder what the bottom Fonz. Oh, we got Pasiphae. Common. Pasiphae, not Pasiphae, sorry.
Yeah, definitely a card you don't see a lot of, but it does gain fleeting as part of its ability. So that'll be one less card for the bottom of Faunus. They do maintain the lead on the Tumult, but they'll only have
Yeah.
3 cards to play with. And I don't think they're going to want to play that Hathor from reserve if they can help it. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty rough for them here. They're more than likely going to be giving up a 2-0 here, but they definitely could pull something out. And they
Yeah,
just
I'm surprised they put something in mana.
Yeah, they must have found a card draw. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, or they have something else that can help them here, but otherwise they're looking at only playing 1, maybe 2 cards.
I mean, this finals player could also be playing the hunger too. Very possible.
Definitely could be an option, and it's
Um,
just a banishing gate. Interesting. So we're definitely looking at a double advance here for the top of Faunus, unless anything crazy happens.
I'm just so curious what he put in this man on this day.
Yeah. Magical training does come out, able to maintain the resource lead on the bottom of Faunus here. They're just going to go ahead and pass. They're not going to even let the top of Faunus use the resources to get rid of that Hathor. And at this point, they may as well just play the magical training again to
Yeah,
draw a card.
keep drawing cards. Is this something I decided
They're gonna
not
go with
to,
it.
really.
Yeah, they're just going to keep it for a potential play later on.
Yeah,
And after being down the entire game, they have used that resource advantage that they've been maintaining
yeah,
over the bottom of Faunus in order to get the lead. They do use the ability of that unique trooper to return that magical training. Maybe that's why they decided they didn't want to play
yeah,
it.
I forgot the, Orders Trooper was still in play, 'cause I've been asleep, like, twice already.
Yeah, so
I think it's over for the bottom Faunus player.
yeah, if it seems like they just picked any card to mana here. They're likely gonna throw some. Oh, they do find
Oh,
a draw.
maybe we're drawing a magical training now.
They may find something that they possibly need. It's looking more and more grim. The Topofaunus can respond with a magical training of their own.
Basically, you use Hathor to bounce that magical training back up again. Yep,
Yeah.
for another 1 cost.
But the fact that they keep playing these magical trainings without a character out and no boost means that they are digging for some type of magic that the Siphonis can produce. They won't see another draw out of that magical training after the Rhyme Frost, though, and we just keep on getting a bigger and bigger unique trooper.
Spycraft coming again. It's been interesting seeing these spycrafts showing up again. I'm not sure if I'm missing a memo here, but I didn't know Spycraft was coming back to Aphonis.
It seems like Maddox and Insane are accusing each other of cheating in the chat. You guys are both probably cheaters. I'll have to
Yeah,
tell Simon. We'll boot both of you out later. Don't worry.
ban.
We do get the GGs in the chat here. It looks like the top of Faunus is able to persevere after being down all game and is able to take this game over the bottom of Faunus. We'll go to the final round undefeated and have the potential to take this AWOL weekly number 6.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Doo-doo-doo.
We'll head on back here, see if maybe we can catch the
The last
end
uh,
of
we
the game
still
of
we still got
these
plenty
two.
of tables here.
See, are the two cheaters still playing each other?
I don't I
No,
don't
they're
think so.
done.
They're done.
They're done.
You can go to table 2 if you want.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take out table 2.
These people, I think Ed and Sir is also undefeated.
Yeah, I believe so, and they are playing the
Ben.
Sierra of Lou Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Uh, Interestingly enough, the Sierra does have 2 Brassbug Hives up.
They're starting pretty strong here. They are, both tied here in terms of expedition wise. I would say Fen definitely has a bit more resources going on for them.
They do, but they do have to deal with that double Brassbug Hive setup, which
Yeah,
is never easy to deal with.
and they also got the Foundry armor probably be played right here. Ooh, but Fen was able to resupply a unique Lyra Cloth Dancer. When you roll 1 or more dice, target 1 character gains fleeting. From anywhere, roll a die. For a pledge, you may discard target permanent. Oh, that's pretty good against the arrow right there.
Yeah, could be a good chance here if they get the roll that they need. Won't be able to give anything fleeting that matters. And Maddox is how do you exactly put cards in your sleeve online? Is that something you have to program, or is a digital sleeve that helps you set up your reserve? I'm not sure. Either way, it doesn't look like we'll see that cloth dancer being played right away. It will be an Esmeralda.
We
That
also have Gibble, potential Gibble play, but oh, they actually did do it.
actually full out played the rare Gibble, not a card you get to see a lot of. Typically, it's just the common Gibble to use the support ability, but this rare Gibble being played, creating 2 brass bugs, 4/4/4 apiece, a lot of stats.
The Fed players, like, they don't have enough, they don't have anything to stop it. It is
Doesn't
it is a
yeah,
strong card to play at the end here.
yeah, does not even wanna have to deal with it, happy with passing. Lou is able to take this game over the undefeated Finn player.
Fed was got defeated by Sierra.
So we will only have one undefeated player going into round 6, so they'll need to win in order to prevent the tiebreaker of BGA deciding who takes the entire event.
Been some good games so far. A lot of Axiom games.
A
It's
lot
good
of
to see it.
Axiom games indeed.
And not just mainly traders, definitely a lot of Sierra players we've been seeing as well.
So we'll head on out in this game, see if we can find another game for y'all to watch before we head into the 6th and final round of this event.
We got two
Taking a look.
tables. We got table 4 or table 11.
Let's take a look at table 4. First one. No, we still got one more round, Cole. There's only currently one undefeated player in
Mm,
Aphonis at the
yeah,
moment,
player.
and they will play to decide whoever is currently at one loss. And if they win, they win. But if they lose, then 5-1 tiebreaker time. And speaking of tiebreakers, we're going into an arena tiebreaker here.
Oh, yeah, we got it written. I blanked out so hard looking at it. I was like, I saw it written, but my brain was not saying written.
And we have a Rin and Orchid versus a Kojo and Buddha, and a very unique flag here for the Kojo player that I did not recognize off the top of my head. Um,
Jersey.
and so this is where this must be where New Jersey comes from. It's just Jersey, the country, right?
I didn't know my state came from that.
No. So apparently it's a territory. I did not know what Jersey
Oh,
was. It's a territory over off of France. Interesting.
okay. Yeah, they have a lot of territories off France. I remember seeing one flag the other week that was also another territory from France, but it wasn't Jersey. I forgot what it was called.
Interesting.
So how would they say that in French then?
I don't know, Jersey, but
That's
either
all.
way, but this is a non-Buddha turn for the Kojo. They do have a Haven available to them for the Pathfinder and 7 counters on the mess, so we will see a resupply happening here at some point.
Not
But in the mean
favorable for Kojo at the moment, not being the first player here.
Yeah. We do have a Haven Seringer come out, which is a decent counter to that Snoozer Shroom as far as stats is concerned in the forest. So looking pretty good for the Kojo at the moment. The question is who has the right cards playing here? It seems like it may just be a quick back and forth of
Oh,
stats to see
nah, I
decide
expect to
this one.
see the rare Inari being played in the rent deck.
That Haven is definitely something that's putting in a lot of work here for the Kojo player now with
That's
4
true.
cards in hand.
Ooh, Requiem.
Requiem is a good removal here. It will get fleeting, so only going to remove the one Pathfinder. 2 cards left here for the Ren and Orchid player, who is currently in the lead as far as the tiebreaker, but has to deal with 4 more cards potentially here from the Kojo.
And Kojo definitely has a lot of strong cards that are low cost. Oh, we got a unique here.
Yeah, unique scrambler that sabotages from reserve, but from hand up to one target character gains a sleep. You may have it gain 2 boosts, and that sleep will go onto the Serendir. So a lot of interaction.
Yeah, that's
That
pretty
also
strong
m
card.
Yeah, also mean that they can't play the Contortionist. Now do they have enough stats to be able to go over? That's a good start. Just need 2 more water to at least tie, and the Tracer will do it. That should
Yeah,
be a win
that
for
is
the
this.
Kojo player.
Disease and they were able to finish it all with Fire Rabbit.
Yeah, rub salt into the wound, make sure you know that they didn't have you, they
Yeah.
double had you.
Let the moon player know that they had no chance.
So GG's
Mm,
to the Kojo player from Jersey. I'm gonna say it's Jersey. I could be saying it
it's
wrong.
just,
But, that should be the end of round 5, I
yeah,
believe.
we should be right at the last round here.
Yep, we are going into round 6. We do have the undefeated player in TTC, Zarp, playing up against the liar known as Insane
94.
94.
I
Uh,
you think he was born in 1994, or you think it's just another insane lie?
I don't know. It could be either, to be honest, but they will have the opportunity to play spoiler to Zarp if they beat them, and it will go into a tie of 5-1s depending on who takes the win. So, can Insane be the spoiler for this altered weekly online league
I
number
believe in
6
insane.
on Wednesday?
I believe in him. Yeah, I know he's been lying to us the entire time, but I think he could do it.
We'll go ahead and take a look at this specific game to see if Zarp is able to close it out or if Insane is going to finally show up with a unique that is not an entire lie.
People in the tournament chat asking for the adventure pass link.
Too bad. Now, Simon will be providing that here shortly to everybody. Just stay patient. Promise it's coming. We haven't lied about it yet.
Yeah, we're not insane.
Exactly. Both players deciding on their mana here for the final Swiss round 6 will be in Aphonis versus Traced to decide. Insane does not have any guarantee of taking the championship if they win this game, but they definitely could depending on the tiebreaker for
Ooh, we
the
started off with
setup here.
Sneasher Shroom. Not the best card to play at the moment, but
Keelan Elemental is good stats wise, but will still get statted over as far as the forest is concerned. But for now, looking like a 1 for 1, unless he decides to play the Axiom Salvager.
yeah, he has no choice but to.
He has a choice. He could save
Yeah.
it. You never know.
He has no choice. Play it. Play it.
We'll give them the ability to 2-1 here.
He
We'll add
might
a
have decided to double advance.
and we'll get the counter here on the trace, and we'll also put a rare hooked in the reserve.
Not a card you want to show off early.
No, but at the very least, it could be used as a draw, especially when you're low on resources at the moment, like the traced is, and low on counters. But we'll see if that's how they end up using it, or if they use it in a different way. Will cost 2 mana to use either way.
I'm excited. Who you think is gonna win this?
Um,
I know it's early to
well,
tell, but
I mean, at the end of the day, it's really hard to beat Aphonis, but I gotta believe that Insane can pull out some magic here, pull out a fake card, and show everyone what they're working with some uniques.
it would be really funny. He does not play uniques. I found this here thinking, as they always do, taking their sweet time till the time's out. Oh, there we go. It's interesting to see the Easter Shroom being played here, at least a non-unique version.
Looks like we're just gonna see the hooked verifying the potential 1 for 1 here, as well as getting a counter and a draw. And that does look like that is what the scenario is going to be for the Siphonis and Trace. Trace will maintain the lead, as well as have at least 4 cards in hand after manaing on the following day.
So resources looking look wise looking pretty good from both sides.
Oh,
A little bit slow on the Aphonis to have 3 cards in hand. Well, I guess technically 4 cards in hand, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
yeah. Has not been able to card return those magical trainings at this point. So maybe digging for something like that. But in the meantime, we will have Aphonis be going first here on this day to see who they are going to play off of. Mostly been seeing those sneezer shrooms being played, but we do finally
Make
see
the answer.
that dancer come out here. It is in the rare version as well, so if they can get enough boosts, we will see a card draw that I'm sure the top of Faunus has been looking for.
I wonder how Saint's gonna respond to this. I'm not sure how much removal he has in his deck.
With the Keelan Elemental play, that does set them up to be able to have enough counters here shortly for the Traced and start. milling through their deck a little bit and gain resources over the Aphonis if the Aphonis cannot find the draws that they are typically looking for. But we do
Oh,
see the unique Spindle Harvesters. I believe this is one of the ones that we saw earlier.
that is true. The one that at dust by two more boosts, you would bounce a card from the reserve to your hand.
At the moment, it looks like it will have those boosts by being able to get rid of the Sneezer Shroom and use the Joyride to boost up that Harvester, and it will also give enough boost in general at this point to be able to block the Trace on the hero side. They should have enough to go over on the companion side with Aponis having no more mana.
Yeah, but that's up to really them. Do you rather just rather block or just advance here?
Yeah, they are currently up on the Tumult, so they can afford to give up a 2-1 here, and this honestly may be the only play that they have. Yeah, so
And
they
now
are
Triss
going to
is
play.
active now too, so they're able to
They are
play
gonna
that.
immediately activate it, see what they can put in reserve. Will be a Givel, be able to activate another resupply off of the support ability, and it
Ooh,
will be another Haven.
that's a pretty good draw right there for Trist.
I'm sure they're definitely not complaining over having the second Haven. Bet they wouldn't mind having had a Keylon cylinder pop up even if they had one in their deck to be able to pay that 1 mana. But in the meantime, a Haven Bravos Bastion is definitely not a bad option, especially if they can find some type of sabotage to hit the Mage Dancer that we see in reserve. But I don't know if they're going to be running enough of it like on a
I
Tinkerbell.
don't think we see any sabotage from any of the Trist players, if I remember correctly.
Right. You see a Vike coming out here to help potentially deal with some exhaustion happening from the Aphonis players that are prioritizing that Nilum that we've seen quite a few of them use. Dead even on the Tumult, and we will see that Kadir and Mage Dancer being played as a little bit of a setup for the top Aphonis before seeing what they can do, and we will just see the Trace play into an Axiom Salvager.
Nope. What did you see? I don't see anything.
Oh my gosh, it's a 6-2 something or other.
what what did I just read just now?
It is a 6-2 Merlin that, Insane's excited about. It's immediately getting discarded, but it has Scout 4. If you control a fleeting character, you may discard target character in play or reserve. So it's a pretty good Scout. In this case, it's being used to have up to one target character gain fleeting in this scenario. And it looks like they're waiting on a decision here for that. Maybe targeting the Spindle Harvesters potentially. Kinda still waiting here.
Kill on cylinder to play here. I wonder if they're gonna play Joyride again here. Yeah.
Oh, Joyride
Probably
does come out here.
up the mage dancer for another draw. All right.
Sneezer
Huh.
yes. Sneezer Shrooms using being used as fodder for the, Joyride. Potentially looking at a double advance here for the top of Faunus. They're having to use a lot of resources to get there, though. We'll
Yeah, there
see
you
if
go. Keelan Elemental with a lot of boost coming up.
yeah, we'll see if there is enough boost coming out here from these to at least get them to put them in a spot to block. It won't be enough on the companion side, but they will have enough at the moment for the hero side, but I have to imagine there's another spell, and there sure
Yeah.
is with the
There it
Sapid
is.
Fusion. So they had to use pretty much everything. They will have enough boosts on on the dancer to be able to draw at this point. But looking good for the top buff honest because there still isn't that much as far as resources for the trace, but I wouldn't say it's over till it's over.
Yeah,
Honest is just one win away though from taking this
that is
entire
true.
AWOL weekly.
I would definitely say the fondness player has more advantage at the moment just from resources in general. That, spindle harvester is definitely a big clutch for them. I mean, maybe we'll see another unique Merlin coming into play.
We've seen one thus far. It was a fun little Merlin that you can use to scout. Only used to use the reserve ability though at this point. Other than that, hand advantage still going to the Aphonis player. Trace will be able to balance that out though with its hero ability. We do see an immediate use of a moth to a flame as a really good start here for the Aphonis, who just needs one more singular advance to take this game.
Got some slow play going on over here for the Trist. I don't think the Trist has it, honestly, Blue. I think it's kinda game over for them.
Definitely could be. Doing a little bit of digging there with the frozen resupply.
Like, I've been noticing all day today in the tournaments, I don't think I see any Trist, players play any removal besides Grems.
Yeah, if they don't have the removal, it will be hard to deal with that big moth. They're gonna just have to try to contest it individually with their own characters. But a
Yeah, but
beauty sleep right here is another card that will make it difficult for
yeah,
them.
and the problem is that, that Spindle Harvester unique, it bounced the card back from the hand for because of the Spore ability.
Yep, and we'll be able to allow another beauty sleep if necessary, but not going to give them the option to do that here if that was the plan, just playing another one cost. Question is, do they have the removal here for that moth, and that's what they're playing for this entire time, or they're just keep going to keep on digging? The Grims is on the board, but it only can target a permanent, so they are going to opt to just play that unique Spindle Harvester, split the board a little bit, and force the Trace to have to decide. And it looks like it could be all over here, and Zarp's just going to take this one with a complete undefeated run. They will be able to throw the Brass Bug to block on the companion side, but still need a lot more as far as stats.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, Sane did a very good job as best he can on this, but it looks like Zarb is gonna be undefeated today.
Honest looks to be taking the victory here. We'll go to Dusk. We'll check for victory. We get GG's on both sides. Zarp goes undefeated, piloting the Aphonis. Insane finally decides to show us those uniques that we keep on talking about. And I guess we can call them not a liar for the time being.
Oh, he said Merlin's with a S. He only showed us one,
Oh,
so
okay. Well, at least for the time being, they're still a liar then. But that was the championship round. GG's indeed, Zarp.
Zarb.
Congratulations for taking the victory there on the Aphonis play. We will take a look real quick to see if there's any other games we want to watch before we shut
See,
things down.
I'm gonna try something.
What you got?
Never mind, I'm still blocked. Never mind.
Still blocked.
No,
Nothing for you.
wait for me. You wanna go to the table 4?
We can. Yeah, let's go
It's
for
up
it.
to you.
Table 4 is a Kojo versus Sierra. I want to thank everyone that's been joining us in the chat thus far this week on a Wednesday for the A.W.O.L Wednesday weekly number 6. We just watched Zarp take the victory over Insane while they are piloting in a Faunus and getting the victory here this week.
Good job, Zarb. GG, man. Letting the us proud before we get nerfed to the ground.
Looks like we're potentially just getting another 1-for-1 here, and both players will be dead even on the tumult. The Kojo player will be without Buddha this time around, but they do seem to have the card advantage
Oh, yeah.
with the help of that unique Ozma that when it leaves the expedition zone, if I have 2 or more boosts, draw a card, and you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, I gain 2 boosts.
That's pretty solid Osmo right there. Venti defeated me last week, and I lost my unmatched because of him. I cried. But it's all right. I let it slide for this time.
This time around, huh?
I just need Lou Rhapsody to win. No, it's gonna be very hard for them to compete because they have a lot of resources, a lot of mana. Hojo Venti decided to play the Ozma, trying to gain that extra boost.
And will contest that side there and throw the Mighty Jin in a spot where it can be pretty useful depending on where he plays it. Interestingly enough, does not have any Haven Bravos Bastions out though.
That is true. I wonder if he decides to just throw them away because of the Grims.
Could be, or could have just been hit by the Grims, you know? Don't see any in the discard though.
Yeah. We got Foundry Armor, rare version. Any little brass bug.
Isn't able to benefit off of having a Brassbug Hive at the moment though.
That is true.
Seems like both players have not been able to hit the bigger permanents that they may have had in their deck at this point. You do see a rare out of faction Snowman, great card in Bravos if you can afford to fit it in your deck.
Yeah, I wonder what's the last card they have in their hand here.
The delay makes me think that they can't play both between the mechanic and the card in hand, so they're
Yeah.
having to decide what they want to do here.
I think it's oh, all right.
Yeah.
We got a little boom action.
Yeah.
Probably yeah, that's probably a wrap for them.
So the Mighty Jin will be enough to block, and with the
Yeah,
Snowman already out, will at least be a 1-0.
15-1.
Plus, yeah, and will be a GG's. Vint able to take this one and take a victory over the Sierra player.
That's
GG's to both players. Happy to
GG.
see a lot of Sierra and general representation on that side.
All
All
right.
right. We could take a look at more games.
Any last games? We got a couple more tables going. What do you want to do here?
Let's take a look at table 10. Table 10, once again, Trace for Good Measure and a Basira player.
Oh, oh yeah, we've seen the Basir player. I from the what third round?
Yep, I believe so. Has an ability of when another character joins your expeditions. If I have one or more boosts, target character gains 2 boosts. So it's a pretty good unique,
Yeah. Oh,
but
it's
still loses.
yeah.
We got to watch the very end there.
Yeah, these Trace players are ruthless, man. Just coming in. They're all coming in hot.
So we'll get to see the very end of that game there. Other than that, most games are wrapping up. Looks like we have 2 more games left. I may as well go down to table 13 and see what we
Oh,
got going on there.
Iron Chains and Hero.
Iron Chains throwing out the Orac play.
All right. We got a big old Hydra in play here. I wonder they actually top decked it with Orac's ability.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good card to top deck right there.
A lot of stats on the board
Yeah,
here for the Orac player. They may even be able to get enough counters to be able to use it for the following day if they so choose. But Faunus may have something else to say about that, as they do still have plenty of mana on their own.
that is true. That is true. They're probably it's either gonna go for a trade here.
I don't know, Cole. Guess you going to Gen Con?
No, I am not going to Gen Con.
Is that a question?
Where's Gen Con at? Isn't that in Minnesota?
Indianapolis.
Minneapolis? No.
Okay.
I'm going to PAX if you want
Okay.
me because I live
PAX West? PAX what?
Unplugged.
Unplugged, okay. So
Yeah,
next unplugged they're going to,
yeah.
got it.
Only because it's in Philly and I'm like 10 minutes away from Philly,
That's fair.
so I just take the train there.
Makes it easier.
Yeah,
We do see that Sandman coming out here, so just one performance counter away from hitting the mark. But we do see another Moth to a Flame coming out here for the Aphonis player,
yeah,
who's just trying to stack up on that one side to prevent a double advance here from the Orac, it seems like. Only has 1 mana left, could have something like a Beauty Sleep or a Magical Training to get another boost, but, we'll have to see what the 4 mana left here is working for the Orac, and it's a Scribbling Starfish to start us off.
I'm also going to Baltimore if anyone's going to. You're lucky that you took on streamer, or else I would disown you. This guy just bullies me all day.
Yeah, he does that. And we do see that Beauty Sleep come out here, so unless the Orac has something pretty decent or maybe another Sandman of their own to sleep the characters, it's just a Martingale. Plenty of counters at this point, so we will see at least one more day here and at least one more, Orac
Yeah.
activation.
Who knows? Maybe it's tiebreaker arena after this day.
Could be. We'll have to deal with that slept Sandman, though, as far as the Aphonis is concerned, and both players had to use just about all cards that they
Yeah.
had available to them. So question is does the Orac player in 2 Iron Chains get a good pull off of the Orac ability? And does Aphonis run into enough cards that they draw here on the following day to be able to deal with that and the Sandman, which is in a pretty decent spot as far as the individual water terrain?
Yeah, I'm looking through the discard for the Faunas. They haven't played that many draw cards, so they have potential to draw a couple more cards at least.
Both players do have a lot of mana at this point and can choose not to mana. Would
Yeah,
not be surprised.
speaking Sandman is definitely gonna be hurting a little bit.
And runs into a Persephone. So probably not gonna play that on the companion side. Yeah. Um,
That's be fair.
gonna throw it on the hero side. Not a bad spot for it to go. Get that
Uh,
scribbling starfish up with some boosts.
Who's going to Baltimore? Anybody here? Any Baltimore players coming? Lou, you coming to Balti?
Not
That's a
not
yes.
not for sure. I'd like to go, but the only one that I'm for sure going to at the moment is Dallas.
Uh,
We'll see though. Maybe.
maybe. Looks like I think they are gonna go for tiebreaker here.
Oh, interesting. They decided not to remove the counter to draw a card.
Really? That is interesting. I don't
They
know
mu
why.
they must have a mana curve in hand here that they feel confident in, and they don't feel like they need to draw, or they don't want to have to worry about the beauty sleep or some type of interaction on the Aphonis side. And they just want to put as many boosts as possible.
Yeah, or they just misclick.
Could be, but I feel like if that was the case, they'd probably say something in chat. But we'll see. Usually, when we do see that scribbling starfish, it's more often used for that draw. And yeah, sure enough, there is another beauty sleep out here. So we can see 2 more cards be beauty sleeped if they so choose. We may be end up we may end up going to that tiebreaker that you mentioned, depending on if there's any removal for
You know,
that
it could be
moth.
interesting that they could play Blue Jays. Never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but I take that back. They don't have enough mana for it.
Would be a lot of cards here removal in there, and they could have the ability to twinkle twinkle.
Actually, you going to Baltimore? I'm glad, man. I hope you don't block me from from there too.
Yeah, man. We gotta Cole, we gotta tell a guy trying to
Oh,
make it happen.
interesting. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, so the small step play,
Yeah,
not something
yeah,
that we see very often, so relying on the idea here that if they go 1 for 1, they can, still win based off of
yeah.
advancements. The question is does the Orac have the removal here to take out that moth, and it will still go. Okay, so that should be enough to get to water here,
Yeah.
and so they will get the double advance, and it will be a 2 for 1. Wait, they oh, yeah, they're just gonna
Uh,
scout first,
yeah.
and then they'll get the boost on that, should have another setup here. Should won't be enough to actually block the moth, but will be enough for a double advance at the very least, and it will be a weird kinda tiebreaker
Yeah, I
here.
did not expect this at all. This is very interesting.
Um,
The small
smart
stab is just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, smart to give the boost here to the Sandman as well to have enough stats here for the tiebreaker. We have a double cross each other advance, so we will see the tiebreaker here and a surprise small step even. So
Orac has 7 counters too, so another performer is gonna be played here.
yeah, we'll have to deal with both of those beauty sleeps that can definitely be played and eliminate pretty much the Sandman that's still on the board or whatever else they play. They do, interestingly enough, have that rare Persephone, which can turn everything in the tiebreaker to just forests.
Yeah,
And
but I feel like that won't be a, ideal situation for them.
probably gonna wait to decide if that's how they wanna play it or not. They do have a solid start here with, having that Guitarist out, having some forest stats. Magical training coming out here for the Aphonis, which means they're digging. Do they
Here,
have the character to be able to even play stats?
curious to
Haven't
see.
blocked it? Well, Gus, have you flamed him for playing Wario at one point?
I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay. Um, we do see a Cetus Disciple come out, so definitely can get some boosted up Disciple going on here after getting hitting some of his characters with the Beauty Sleeps, if that's how they want to go with it. We'll only have 8 mana to work with here, and gonna Sap Infusion, so that'll be just enough to be able to play both Beauty Sleeps, and that will be it as far as stats are concerned for them. So now it comes down to what does the Orac have? They can still make this a Persephone game, but instead they're going to throw out what we have here on the 003 Will o' the Wisp.
So what do you really do? Do you play the Persephone? Or you do not play the Persephone?
Well, I mean, at this point, they're sleeping the Sandman, so it won't matter for those stats.
Oh,
So he's gonna play it here to
yeah.
just opt to have more stats in green because it really won't matter. We'll only have 5 for the Disciple, um, at max here, and the best that
Oh, they play the Sap Infusion?
well, I
That
mean, he can sleep I mean, he could play the Sap Infusion, or he can just do another Beauty Sleep here.
what would you do?
Beauty Sleep ties it.
Sap
Um,
Infusion also ties it too.
yeah, but, either way, he's dealing with another slept Sandman or another slept character if they go into another tiebreaker, and we're also maybe potentially getting to the end of the time here
Yeah.
for things, and so he's gonna use the Beauty Sleep. He's gonna hit the Persephone. We'll be able to get enough boosts to tie things here on there. We'll have to deal with a double slept character as well as the performance counters coming out of the Orac on the following day.
I I'm not sure if that was I mean, I guess that would be that's a hard choice to make, honestly, between the Beauty Sleep and the Sap Infusion. You don't want ideally, you don't want characters in play, but the characters in play is Persephone and Sandman, so it might only helps, like, 1 forest. It's kinda rough to pick between.
Yeah, I can't imagine either of these players are going to want to mana unless they drew something big. But
I mean,
could be
hunger could still be in play for honestly, if it has it.
definitely could. Looks like both of them just decide to pass on the mana, we'll see the activation going into a Guitarist. 2 Guitarists in a row, actually. What's so cool about Dallas? For me, it's because it's closer. I gotta travel all the way across the country to go to Baltimore.
Oh, we got the two fairies sabotaging the what's this thing called? Guitarist. I
Yep.
don't know why I say I was about to say blistist, but guitarist.
Engraver on the board now. It's just gonna be a back and forth quick play, I'd have to imagine here, and not really much to think about
I
because I know.
wonder they have any of these. Okay, they do have one more spell to
Oh, he
boost.
did run into another draw. That's huge for the Aphonis at this point. He was gonna
That's
be he was
fusion
gonna
is
be
it
limited, and now it could definitely go the Aphonis's way, even after having to leave all those other stats on the board, especially with the idea of the Persephone being on the board because
Oh,
it
you got a
basically makes the Sandman
strong
useless.
adder.
So if he gets any removal with that draw, it could be huge for him here. So he will
Bounce.
be able to card return here.
Yeah, guard return probably used to this suit disciple to reduce it. They need to
Oh,
have a removal.
can throw up to 5 boosts on the
Five,
board,
six, six total
which puts him at 12.
plus one here,
Yeah.
which is going to be
Yeah, so it doesn't look
oh
like they do have anything, and time limit will be reached.
yeah.
Iron Chains will
That's
take
gonna
the
be a
victory,
close.
but
That would have been a close game. I don't know if they had it or not.
I
They
thi
had a
I
13.
think he would have been 1 stat short unless he
Yeah,
drew something there, but either way, GG's to both players. That was a fun last game
pretty
to
good.
watch here in the round.
Oh, I love the arena tiebreakers.
Yeah, fun game to watch here on the AWOL Season 3 Wednesday Weekly, number 6. Congratulations to the winner of TDZ
Yeah,
ZARP
Zarp.
MH.
Good job, my man. Good
Being
job.
able to win with Aphonis. And yeah, congrats to all the other people in the top here. I believe how many people did we have? We had 3 other 5 and 1s, and then we had quite a few 4 and 2s. Congrats to all of you folks as well.
Three and serve and one, 5 and 1. Pretty good
Yeah.
match. A lot of trist. A lot of trist.
Yeah, a lot of Axiom play as a whole, so that
Yeah.
was very cool to see. But yeah, other than that, any closing thoughts for you, Gus?
Hey, like, subscribe, tell people about the AWOL tournament on Wednesday. We definitely need more people for it. Love to see more new people coming in, coming out. Well, not coming
Yeah.
out, just coming in. Just a
Yeah, come on, North America, step
yeah,
up.
step up. No more magic.
But yeah, I think that's it for us. I don't have anything else left to say. Feel free to take a look at both Gus and my socials that have been popping up on occasion. If you want to subscribe to AWOL and us, we'd love you even that much more. And yeah, go to Gen Con, sign up for events.
Yep. Go to your locals. Go everywhere you can. Spread the word.
Nope. Other than that, we'll let Gus shut things down, and we'll catch y'all later.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm shutting things down here. You guys have a good night. Blue, good night. Thanks for being my
Night, night.
co-host here. Paul, you don't get a good night. Everyone else gets a good night. All right. This is AWOL Weekly Online League number 6, Wednesday. I'll catch you guys next.